In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
What is up, YouTube? It's your man, Cody, coming at you with a little impromptu stream, man. I feel like we haven't been streaming enough from the C3 channel. It's that down time of year. There's not too much going on. But it doesn't mean that Panther fans don't want to talk about Panther football. And that's what we're going to do here today. I'm going to wait a little bit for people to kind of roll into the chat room, see that we're live. But this is all about you, man. Whatever you want to talk about is what we're going to talk about. So much so, Booyakasha. If you look in that chat room, that is the link for you to be able to join the stream, come in, hang out, talk what you want. You don't have to get on camera if you don't want to. But I'm just chilling, man. I had the urge to want to talk some Panther football. And I didn't want to wait till Tuesday night, man. So I figured I would go ahead and run this up. I've really been feeling some kind of a way about our defense, man. I've been pumped about this defense. I've just been thinking about it, man. I've been seeing all the clips flying around on Twitter, for example. I'll go ahead and show you one right now. Man, this dude, J.C. Horn. This dude, J.C. Horn, is a baller, man. And I've just been thinking about what he might have the potential to do in this Panthers system, man. This is him training against Robert Foster. God, that lockdown ability, man. I almost feel spoiled. Like, I genuinely feel like we have not known this kind of talent in the defensive backfield for the Panthers for a long time now. I mean, some people want to argue Josh Norman. Maybe, Josh Norman had that fantastic year for us during our Super Bowl year. But J.C. Horn looks to be doing something special, man. I really think that he has the potential to be a defensive rookie of the year this year. I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again, man. Like, this guy can transform our defense. He's a foundational piece of our defense. So I'm just interested to see what this guy does in tandem with all of the other fantastic defensive players that we already have on the football team. Specifically, another guy that I've been excited about. And again, it's these guys working in tandem with one another. And if they're able to take that next step by themselves, bro, that's what we want, man. All these guys to turn it on at the same time. Derek Brown being a beast in the middle, destroying the interiors of offensive line. And then Brian Burns and Hassan Reddick on the edge. J.C. Horn shutting stuff down. Dude, I'm just pumped for this season, man. 10 Tizzy, what's up with you, bro? Keith 2X. Listen, man, in case you don't know, in the link in the description box below, I put a link to the StreamYard, man. So if anybody wants to come in here and hang out and bullshit, we can talk about Panther football. We can talk about your mom and them. I really don't give too much of a damn. I was just in the mood to hang out with some Panther fans, and that's what I'm going to do, man. I'm excited about this defense, y'all. I really, over the past few days, I just can't fight this feeling that we're actually witnessing the birth of a special defense. And I'm not just saying that as a Panthers fan who's longing for the glory days of Panther football. I'm looking at all the players that we have right now. I'm talking about Derek Brown, Brian Burns, J.C. Horn now, and even the guys that we brought in like Hassan Reddick. Dude, this defense might be terrifying this year. Again, we don't know. We're basically just going to have to wait and see what how it all pans out. But it's that the third year guys are the ones that I'm just super pumped about right now. For example, the guy I just showed you, Derek Brown, absolute monster. I'm hoping that he's really going to be able to turn it on. And then Brian Burns is another guy who is like, at any moment, they're getting ready to enter into that superstardom phase, especially Burns. And Derek Brown's only been on the team 2 years. I said 3. But we have a combination of talent right now that's just really kind of crazy to me, thinking how it might be able to come together. Now, obviously, we have a ton of different holes on the defense, too, that we're worried about. The linebacking core is still something that is kind of suspect, in my opinion. I'm wondering, is all of our star players on defense going to be able to make up for the apparent holes that we're talking about? Linebacker. I still think safety is an issue on this football team. So I don't know, man. I'm just excited. I'm excited about this defense. Let's see what the chat room's talking about, man. Sideshow Bob, what's up with you, bro? 10 Tizzy, the front seven's looking nice, dude. Like I said, the defensive line is what I'm pumped about the most. Like, I really, really think this defensive line could be special. And I have the feeling that we're going to be able to run a competent 4-3 and a 3-4 base defense. I think we're going to use Hassan Reddick as a 3-4 outside linebacker and try and get in Jatur Gross-Matos as that 7 technique, 5 technique kind of guy to kind of rush off the edge with his hands in the dirt. I think that we have a very versatile defense, and I'm pumped for it. Zach Altman, what's up, boy? Avery Williams. Do we still have HaHa on the squad? I don't think we ever signed HaHa Clinton Dix, did we? We talked about it. It was in the rumor mill, but we never signed him. That was something that I was kind of perplexed at, too. It's something that I wish we would have done. Because, listen, I told you guys last Tuesday, I'm not confident with this safety position right now. I'm not, I think there's not a lot of depth, and we don't have a lot of good quality starters at that position. And look, let's be real. I love Jeremy Chin, but we don't necessarily know how he's going to do and survive as that normal, strong safety kind of position that we're trying to put him back into. He'll have some growing pains, but, I suspect he'll do just fine. But, there's a lot of unknowns at that position. I just kind of commented on this a little bit. But he wasn't. Adam Sanders says, what do you think about safety play? Jeremy Chin was great last year, but he wasn't amazing in coverage. Yeah, and I just kind of talked about this a little bit. He's going to be doing some different things than he was last year. And we were kind of handcuffed on defense because we didn't necessarily have the personnel to run a legitimate, 4-3 or a 3-4. And, I mean, this is, the running joke last season was kind of how much we ran a 3-3-5, kind of a college-style defense. And people were like, what? Is this the best that Phil Snow has to offer? And I think a lot of people were a little bit perplexed by that. So, again, the all of the different possibilities that our defense has this year really excites me. And just what we're going to be able to do. We'll be able to do a 3-3-5, but we won't have to maintain a 3-3-5 defense, which is awesome. That's what we're pumped for. Hopefully we don't James Bradbury 7s. What's up, Cody? Remember, guys, if you want to jump in the stream, you don't have to be on camera if you don't want to. You can disable your camera. Hey, man, your boy's out here all alone, man. So I'm just dependent on the chat room and whoever wants to jump in and get in the StreamYard, talk some bullshit with me. I'm down for it. I believe Unnecessary Bluntness is going to try and roll through in a little while after he gets done pumping some iron. But yeah, I just posted the link in the chat. If any of you want to come in and hang out and talk, dude, like I said, man, we can talk about whatever. Is there something in particular about this Panther football team that you're wanting to talk about? Come tell me about it, dude. I'm here to listen. I'm your Panther therapist for this afternoon, man. So take advantage of it. JC is looking good right now, man. Dude, that's an understatement. We could run 5 down linemen if we want, 5-2 with Reddick, hand in the dirt. Yeah, we have a lot of different position versatile guys on our defense, and a lot of guys that we know want to play aggressive. And that's why I think J.C. Horn was such a pivotal upgrade to our defense, because if we're able to man people up and not have to, do the normal zone heavy type of thing that the Panthers are used to doing, not a lot of single high safety looks anymore. I think it's going to give our defensive line such an ability to be aggressive and play fast and get after the quarterback and just really turn things on, because we're not going to have to worry, if we have lockdown guys, especially if Dante Jackson decides to turn it on and be a franchise-style corner in his own right. Like, if our defensive backfield is able to make up for what it hasn't been in years previous, dude, the sky's the limit for this defense, bro. Really. I mean, I really do think our linebacking core is also going to benefit. I wouldn't doubt if the Panthers look a little bit like they did under Steve Wilkes, where we're going to be blitzing a lot more. True One, what's going on, bro? Hey, if you want to join me, man, like I said, I'm just trying to get anyone to come in here and bullshit with me, bro. I left the link to the StreamYard. It's in the chat if any of y'all want to come in here and hang out. But yeah, man, I'm your Friday evangelist, Sideshow Bob. I've been feeling some kind of way, man. I've really been thinking about the defense, right? Because let's be real, most of our questions are on offense. Like, we're wondering what Sam Darnold's going to be able to do under Joe Brady's play calling. We're wondering if we're going to be able to run the football effectively, how many touches Chuba Hubbard's going to get. Is our offensive line going to be worth a fuck? We don't know any of this right now. But I feel like because of all that, it's kind of easy to gloss over the potential of what our defense could be this year. I mean, just thinking about, the guys I've already mentioned before, Brian Burns, Derek Brown, Hassan Reddick. I still think Turgos Matos could, really show up in a big way this year. I'm just really pumped and I'm excited. I'm excited for this season. Our first brave Panther fan wants to come talk to me. Zach, what's up, bro?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Dude, I'm doing good, man. I just got a wild hair up my ass this morning, and I'm like, you know what? I want to talk some Panther football, and I don't want to wait till Tuesday night to do it. So
I feel you.
Here I am, man. Just wanting to talk to you, talk to anybody, whatever y'all want to talk about, man. I am here for y'all tonight. So, Zach, awesome. What's on your mind, dude?
I'm excited for this season, man. It can't get here any sooner.
Yeah.
I'm so ready to see JC and Brian and this defense, man.
Yeah, man. Like, that's what I've been thinking about. It's not just one player, right? It's not just J.C. Horn. It's not just Brian Burns. It's all these players in tandem, like how they're going to benefit from one another. And, like, especially if Derek Brown can truly take that next step. I said this last Tuesday night, but, we kind of didn't really know what we had in Star Lotulelei after he left the Panthers and how important he was to the middle of our defense. Dude, if Derek Brown can be even half of that, like, we've never had the perimeter edge weapons like we've had before with Brian Burns and Hassan Reddick. Like, that's a lot of speed off the edge.
Yeah, definitely not with speed. We've had good power rushers in our day, but definitely not speed rushers like we do now.
Yeah, I mean, you tell me, what's the last, like, I feel like we haven't had a bunch of dynamic speed rushers before. We've had the Charles Johnson and Julius Peppers was, of course, freak show fast. Yeah, freak show fast for his size, but, also a lot of power, too. He's not necessarily dependent on that speed. And I don't know that Brian Burns is dependent on it either, but, I think we want to see him continue to bulk up and strengthen himself with his hand in the dirt, just for that versatility factor to be able to do a lot of different things on defense.
Yeah, if he could become a reliable run defender too, he would
Yeah.
like skyrocket.
Oh, for sure, man. Like, and that's probably the hardest part of being a fast guy like that is learning how to do your due diligence and play run defense and mind your gaps. Like, I'm sure that's hard when you're a freak athlete like Brian
Yeah.
Burns sometimes. Sideshow Bob says, or do you think Dante Jackson plays better man or zone? So I kind of think he's a man coverage corner. I've seen him burn there before too. He's gotten better in zone, but I think we've all kind of known that about Dante. Like, Dante wants to play fast. He wants to man you up. He wants to run the route for the receiver. And that's why I'm hoping that this year, with a new aggressive defense, now you add J.C. Horn to the other side. Hey, man, we might see the best Dante Jackson yet.
Yeah. I'm so excited that we might actually have a good secondary this year. I mean, the safeties are still a big question mark, but at least the corners.
Yeah. And I feel like maybe people think I'm kind of being too hard on Jeremy Chin, because, I'm not disregarding that he plays safety for us. I'm just pointing out the fact that we had to use him in a lot of different ways that weren't just safety last year. I mean, Matt Rhule has said we used him as a linebacker a ton. And we did, and we frankly needed him there. But so I'm just trying to assume that there's going to be some growing pains as Jeremy Chin moves back to the position that they want to keep him at, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it'll almost be like he's a rookie again, kind of, because like he played linebacker for so much last year.
Yeah,
if he moves like back to safety as like his primary position, it might be a little bit like a rookie season again. I think he'll be good though, but you never know.
What did you? I don't know if you heard my take earlier, but I kind of feel like since we're really going to a more man-style defense in our coverage, I wonder if that means that we're going to see our front seven be more aggressive with blitzing. Yeah,
I would hope so.
Yeah, because I feel like we don't really know that about Phil Snow yet, right? Like,
yeah,
we haven't had enough time to kind of see what his preferences are. But I would just assume that when you upgrade our defense the way that we have, especially when you have so much speed coming off the edge, man, having Jeremy Chin shoot through those gaps on a blitz, like that's a nightmare,
Did he have any sacks last year?
Oh yeah, Jeremy. I know he had. Let me look that up. I'll tell you right now. Hold on. Jeremy Chin. I want to say, yeah. There's no.
I think he had one or two.
Right. He had to have. I know there was that.
It says he had a sack.
Oh, he had a sack?
He had one.
Yeah, I think that's going to go up a ton.
It should.
Yeah,
if they use him as a blitzer like Jamal Adams, I don't see why he can't.
Yeah, I'm old country. This is G. Kavasi. What's going on, bro? He said, would bringing back Okun be a mistake? Man, this left tackle discussion, it just won't go away, man. And it just sucks because we're not going to, I don't know about you, but I'm just not going to feel good about anyone on this football team at left tackle until they prove it. I'm sorry. No one has earned any of my trust yet. So it's hard. Yeah, can any of us reasonably say that Russell Okung is better than the guys that we have on our roster right now? He was kind of hurt last year, so availability is a big deal for him. But I don't know that even at his best that he was even better than some of the young guys that we might have on our roster right now.
Yeah, I'd rather give Christensen a shot than sign Okung again. And even that's still wishy-washy.
Yeah, I think so too. Chef Jeff, if you're still in here, man, I put the link in the description to the YouTube video, and I'll go ahead and post it again for anybody that wants to come in and join me and Zach. I appreciate you for joining me, Zach.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it's easier to have somebody to bounce stuff off of. But yeah, here it is, my cousin, the man himself, Chef Jeff. Jeff, what's up, bro?
What's going on, cuzzo?
Dude, I'm chilling, man. I've been wanting to talk about some Panther football.
Me too.
Yeah, turn your volume down just a little bit. There's some volume feedback.
That better?
Yeah, that's much better. So what's going on, bro?
I just want to talk about something that kind of gave me a scare this week with Stan Norfleet, on WBT, or not WBT, but WFAN. And, he talks to a lot of the veterans at the Panthers facility and everything. And apparently, the word around town is that a lot of the veterans don't like what Matt Rhule's doing and how he's trying to bring like the college atmosphere to the NFL. And I hope that's not the case, because we've seen what happened to Steve Spurrier. We've seen it. We've seen guys try to do that, and it never ever works because it's two completely different games. You can't bring the Saturday theme, to Sundays. And I'm just worried that, that's what's going on. And I hope, like I said, I hope he's wrong, but he said he talked to multiple veterans about it, and that's how a lot of them feel. And I don't know, man. Like I said, I want to give Rhule the chance, but it's
I wonder
he's bringing in all his guys from Temple still. Still want I don't know, man. I hope that's not what he's doing, but
so if that's
to hear it from the horse's mouth like that kind of scares me.
Who do we think these veterans are? Like
he didn't want to name any names, and he kind of left it. He said that he found out some other things too that he wasn't going to bring up, and obviously he didn't want to say any names or anything because then he'd probably lose his connect, or we should say.
Yeah.
But I definitely did not like that at all. When I heard that, I kind of had that thought in the back of my mind, and then that kind of confirmed it. And I don't want to see Rhule go the way of Steve Spurrier and the other guys, three and out or whatever, 3 years, and then back to the college ranks.
And maybe I'm a little bit too easy on him. Turn your volume down just a little bit more. I still hear my voice in the background. So like, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to not want to give Matt Rhule the benefit of the doubt, right? Just because the fact that he's only had 1 year, and we can hear all these things that people are coming out with, and this player is or isn't happy. And it's just like, I don't know. I want to give Matt Rhule the opportunity to create the culture that he wants to create. That's why we paid him a 7-year deal worth, how many millions of dollars, right? Like, it's clear that David Tepper believes in what this guy is doing. And until proven otherwise, like, I don't know that I disagree with that. And like, also when you say the veterans, right? It's the veterans that have a problem. Well, it's like, this is such a young football team that's still kind of trying to figure out its identity on offense and defense. Like, what do these veterans think that they know better than the head coach that's trying to build this thing? Like, I don't know. I don't know that I have a good answer for it.
Part of it could be maybe the fact that because Rhule was here during a COVID season, that he had to rely on what he knew because he was a rookie head coach, and
that
just go off of what he knew.
Thinking that way for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I think that we kind of take that for granted because everyone went through it, but that was his first year in the NFL, and it's under a COVID, restriction year. So
yeah, he didn't really get a chance to like develop his own kind of mentality, for us at least.
Yeah, but that's why I'm kind of down to just like, a lot of people want to bitch at Phil Snow or Joe Brady for what the defense or offense didn't or did seem like they were last year, but we had so many holes on the roster. It's like, I don't understand how anyone could judge them and say, okay, we know who Matt Rhule is. We know who Phil Snow is. We know who Joe Brady is. Like, that year was not the year to make your assessment off of.
Definitely not.
Yeah, and I really think that, with what Stan said or what he heard from veterans, it wasn't necessarily a one way or the other, or, this is how this guy's going to do the team. It's just that to them, the way he worded it was that's the atmosphere he's trying to bring. And I just hope that he's intelligent enough to understand that does not work. I believe he is. And like you said, I'm definitely willing to give him a chance. We kind of have to.
Yeah, right.
There's no other
we
choice.
Could just say, you know what? Some guy said you want to play like college ball, so you're out. But I hope that's not the case. And I just feel like there is a little bit of evidence to that. Granted, last year was a one-off exception year. But I mean, the fact that he's always wanting to, bring in his guys, from that he's I mean, I get that to a point.
Yeah.
But I mean, once you get to 5, 6, 7, how many of those guys are actually the best player at that position or the best player for your team? You know what I mean?
True.
It just scares me. That's all. And I'm not making a decision one way or another, but I thought it when I heard it, I was like, oh, yeah, well, that's pretty eye opening. I mean, if those veterans are feeling like that, because like I said, it's two completely different games, and college kids, you got to treat them like kids, because that's what they are. You're raising men. You're coaching these kids into men. Once you get in the NFL, they're already men. You know what I mean? And they're and I'm sure a lot of it is veterans who were used to Ron Rivera, especially. We know how Ron Rivera was with the veterans. I'm sure a lot of that had to do with maybe he's whipping them into shape, kind of thing. And they're not, and they don't like the change, Like I do wish that I knew the veterans who it was, but we'll never know that information.
That would say a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and
I just wanted to bring it up, see how you guys felt about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, also you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Because so much of the NFL. Just a few years ago, if you were a quarterback that came out of a spread offense like a Patrick Mahomes, then you were considered like a gimmick quarterback before you ever entered into the NFL. Now you look at it, and the NFL continues to look more and more like college football. So, it might be easier for us to say, well, he's doing too much of the college bullshit in the NFL. Well, maybe that was the whole reason that he was brought on. Maybe David Tepper saw that trend. So if the NFL is moving this direction, why not get the guy who already knows how to do the college style thing that the NFL is trying to adapt to? So again, we're just going to have to give it some time to sit and see if it's, a gimmick that Matt Rhule is trying to implement, or if it's a real deal defense and offense that he's trying to field for us.
And I want to leave on a positive note. One of the things that Stan also brought up throughout the week. This was a different day, and I think they actually wrote an article about it. I want to say it was in the Charlotte Observer, maybe. I think I caught a little bit of it on the Channel 9 app. But how Robbie Anderson, or was it Robbie Anderson? I think it was. Robbie played. Yeah, Robbie Anderson. How he said that Sam Darnold seems like a different guy. Like there's a quote, just aura about him when he walked in the building of this confidence that he had never seen in him before, which is great, which is exactly what we all want to hear as Panther fans, because I personally think that, his ceiling is far great than Teddy Shitwater's ever could be,
Yeah.
And, I mean, even his floor is higher than Teddy's floor. So anything's an upgrade. But
so, dude, I haven't spoken to you in a while. Like, how do you feel about Sam? Like, I mean, I think for the most part, everyone kind of has to be optimistic. It's like same thing with Matt Rhule. We have no choices. But what's your honest assessment on Sam? Was he a victim of?
I mean, I can't really get an honest assessment until I see him on the field, in a regular season game. But things like that you hear from players who were around him up in New York. I mean, we all know that New York is a shit place, especially for somebody like Sam Darnold. I mean, God help him that he ended up there after the draft. Who knows what could have happened if he would have ended up with any other team other than Gase. I mean, look at what Tannehill did. For instance, he left Gase and ended up going to the Pro Bowl the next year. So I mean, that gives me a lot of hope for sure. And I mean, we got the guy in Joe Brady that if anybody's going to be able to turn around a quarterback, it's that guy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much verbatim what I've been. Like, if you look at what Joe Burrow was able to do under Joe Brady in that LSU offense, like, dude, if he can do even half that kind of a turnaround, you know, and nobody thought shit of Joe Burrow. Like, no one thought he was going to be the number one pick in the draft.
He was like a 5th round projection, wasn't he?
If that, you know, like no one thought that he was going to be this fucking crazy NFL quarterback. So, which he's still yet to prove, you know, but
that's true.
Still, Sam, most people would say that Sam, you know, was a bigger name college football player for far longer than Joe Burrow ever was. So it's like, you see there's a reservoir of talent there that, you know, if Joe Brady is able to tap into that, I mean, the sky could be the limit for Sam.
We can only hope.
Well, I mean, it can't get any worse, honestly, than Teddy last year. So, I mean, you know, you don't have to do much to be that much better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Teddy only threw, 15 touchdowns last year? That's
yeah. And
pathetic.
by the way, he set his own personal record by 1 touchdown.
Oh, yeah. I think Darnold has 19 in a season. I think his rookie year he threw 19.
I mean, I'm pretty sure my fat ass could go out there and throw fucking 15 touchdowns.
Dude,
to DJ
Anderson, Dude, how about this? My cripple ass could throw a football further than Teddy Bridgewater. Shit. It's like, come on, dude. I mean, I don't know.
My whole thing with Teddy was that shit after I can't remember what game it was, but when he said, and I think you guys have brought it up on the show, when he complained about them not wanting to throw the ball there at the end of the game and wanting to get the run in or whatever, that just shows you right there he does not have the killer instinct, and he's not a winner. Because a winner like Cam Newton, for instance, you know, I know we don't like talking about it, but you know that he's going to want the ball in his hands.
100%.
You know what I mean? Every single time. And only losers and half-ass backups, you know, want to hand it off to somebody else, because I look at it like you can't handle the pressure. And if you can't handle the heat, get the hell out of the kitchen, you know?
That's true. And Tim Tizzy says Teddy would still beat me in a 40-yard dash, though. But, bro, to be honest, I don't even know about that, man. Like, if I'm just being real, I don't know about that. I've never seen Teddy Bridgewater dominate any competition. And, you know, I challenge you to a race, dude. If you're watching this, wherever you are, fucking come back to Charlotte, and my cripple ass will outrace you, dude. I don't care.
Oh, dude, we can just get you some extra batteries, and you'll smoke him, dude.
Dude,
you can do it in reverse. You'll take the Cadillac and do it in reverse.
Bro, I'll use my terrible crippled legs and outrace that asshole. Bro, I don't give a damn, dude. But yeah, dude, I'm just pumped, man. I really do wish that you know, the season was tomorrow. I mean, like the amount of excitement that I feel going into this season from last season is night and day different.
Yeah,
like 100% different.
Oh, for sure. I'm in the same boat. I've got so much, not hope, but more like I know that we're at least going to go 9-8. Like, there's no reason we shouldn't. Like, I feel. I mean, what we did last year was, I'm not going to say commendable, but it was definitely, for the first year head coach and the COVID bullshit. I mean, we did pretty decent considering what we had. You know, we lost McCaffrey, and we had Teddy Shitwater at quarterback, and yet, you know, we still won a few games. And I mean, that's all Teddy's good for, is a few games. Don't get me wrong. He's a great backup. Great to have as a backup. Should have never paid him $21 million to do that.
Hell no.
You know?
Never. Well, and we're still wondering who paid him that money. Like, was it Marty Herney that was just like, yeah, fuck it, Teddy Bridgewater gets $72 million. You know, but was this
I think it had to be. We know Marty's track record. That's exactly what he does. Yeah. That is Marty Herney's MO right there, overpaying players.
100%. And like, that's why I wanted him gone forever ago. It's like, everyone is over. Look, I love Christian McCaffrey, and I'm fucking excited for what he's going to do this year. I hope he stays healthy, and I hope that he helps take Sam Darnold to another level. But I'm going to stay consistent that you don't pay any running back the kind of money that we paid him. Like, and maybe I'm
I'm on that hill with you, bro. I'm on that hill with you. So I would have hated to have seen him gone to see him go. Because there's plenty of teams out there that would have gave him the money, but man, it hurts when it comes cap time, and you got to pick up. What about mid-season? What if something happens? We have an injury. That 4 or 5 overpaid $1 million, can go a long way in the middle of a season.
Oh yeah. Well, and again, it's nothing to do with Christian. Like, the dude's a fucking badass. No one would ever say different.
Oh yeah, he's worth it and more. He's worth it and more. It's just, is it feasible for the situation we were in? And I got to go with you on that. It's not.
Well, and my thing is like, whenever you pay a running back, it doesn't matter if it's Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley, and now Christian McCaffrey. As soon as they got paid, dude, as soon as they got paid, here come the injuries. Here comes, now he's banged up, now he's missing games. And it's just like that position is so volatile because it's so rough. You're running full speed into 300-pound defensive linemen in between the A and B gaps. It's like, it's a tough job, but because that job is so tough and it's so physically taxing, that's why it's hard to justify that amount of cash to me. But
and paying a running back like that isn't the formula to win the Super Bowl. We all know what the formula is. It's get a quarterback on a rookie deal or a cheap deal, preferably a rookie deal, a great defense, and put the pieces around the rookie QB. You've got that 5-year window that you can do things with. True. I mean, for the most part, there are exceptions. Obviously, you got Tom Brady down in Tampa Bay, but I mean, even he took a pay cut to go down there.
He didn't get paid guys like a crazy amount.
Paying a running back isn't the formula to win playoff games and win a Super Bowl.
No, like, what was the last Super Bowl winning team that had a super high paid running back? Like,
I want to say that the last
would it be Seattle?
I was about to say Seahawks with Marshawn. That's the last one I can think of.
Oh, hey, real quick, G. Cavassier, I see you, bro, but you have to connect your audio and your or at least your audio. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to, just like Zach and Jeff are doing. But you gotta connect at least one of them, and then I can throw you in the stream, bro. But yeah, finish what you guys were saying.
We were saying it was Marshawn was the last one we could think of where you had a high paid running back and you won the Super Bowl with him, but then Russell was on a cheaper contract.
That's true. He was on his rookie deal.
I want to say that I saw a stat a couple months back that the last 9 teams who won the Super Bowl were paying their running back like next to nothing.
That could be true.
And yeah, that I wouldn't argue with that. That's probably the case. I mean, because running backs, like you've said numerous times, they're a dime a dozen. Now, not McCaffrey's. I get it. McCaffrey is the exception to that rule. But, yeah, it was a little too much for him. I mean, but, what are you going to do? It's, shit in one hand and witch in the other and see which one fills up first,
100% right, man. So, okay, let's try this. I think we got our man. G, what's up, bro? G, you there? G, what's going on, dude?
You can hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
What's up, bro? Chilling.
Doing all right.
Chilling, man. Talking some Panther football. Yeah, this is the first time you've been on the show, haven't you, G? Like, other than just the cat calls.
Yeah, is there an echo on your end?
Yeah, that's from one of us. Somebody, whoever's got your
I plugged my headphones in, so I don't think it's mine now.
Okay, it might be yours, G.
I got to plug my headphones in to stop the echo?
That's what I had to do, yeah.
If I can find my headphones, give me a minute, man.
Nah, you're fine.
But yeah, like with the whole McCaffrey thing, I mean, if we're paying him that money, that's fine. What I like to see down the road, and I know I brought this up, and I think maybe you have, and maybe even CK has.
Mm-hmm.
Down the road with Christian, 5 years from now, whatever, as long as he stays healthy, we need to transition him to slot. I mean, if you're gonna take that risk, I hope that you're gonna be able to hold on to him for more than just a running back. Because running backs don't last long, and he's got so much talent that, I mean, you could, finish up 3, 4. We'll say 4 more years, barring any injuries, would be a blessing to get from McCaffrey in the backfield. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
If you could get another 3 or 4 at slot, which is totally feasible with somebody like him, then I'm okay with that kind of money. Because it's almost like you're paying, for 2 positions. You know what I mean?
I mean, because like right now he's a top 10 slot receiver.
Yeah.
100%. Some people still believe that Christian's the best receiver on our football team.
He's pretty damn close. I mean, he's got some hands. He's got some hands, that's for sure.
Here's a question for everybody. So Sideshow Bob says, can Chuba Hubbard ever potentially be a top 10 running back? And really, it doesn't even have to be top 10. I'm wondering what he's going to be able to do in this offense this year. How many touches are we actually going to give Chuba and take away from CNC?
And that's what I don't like about the NFL. They used to be. You remember, we started it with double trouble with having the 2 backs in the backfield and doing good work with it. And all of a sudden, it seems the last 3-4 years that just kind of stopped all around the NFL.
Unless you're the 49ers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Somehow they always have 3 of them.
It can be done, especially if you got a guy like Sam Darnold who you're, trying to get his confidence back, and luckily we're not, the Jets where he's dropping back and throwing the ball 20, 30 yards down the field on every play. We're a crossing patterns, 5-10 yard, hit Robbie Anderson over the middle type team, which is going to be great for his confidence, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
and I hope
our team's so based on run after the catch,
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I mean, that's how Teddy's stats got so inflated. I don't see how Sam can't thrive in the same type of system.
Yeah, I mean, you can run a 2-back set, for
sure.
That's what I would like to see is our offense focused on a 2-back set. We didn't get to do it. We didn't get to do it last year before McCaffrey got hurt, and then with the what's his name? His name's escaping me.
Mike Davis.
Yeah, Mike Davis. Yeah, with Davis, that seemed like a very wasted. And we just wasted his talents. It seemed like to me.
Well, we only really knew about Mike Davis after Christian got hurt. I mean, they played together in that Kansas City game. I can't remember if we ran any 2-back stuff in that game.
Hey, G, let me know when you I'm gonna mute your microphone for a minute until we stop hearing the echo. Or no,
Are you still hearing the echo? Is it gone?
I'm still hearing the echo. Yo, G, you there, man? G, I'm gonna remove you for right now, but then you can come back in just a minute.
Is it still there? Is it still there?
Hello. Yeah, it might not be.
I'm not hearing one. Might be me. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off anyway. I'm gonna take the daughter swimming and stuff. But
I appreciate you jumping on.
Like I said, man. And we're going to the game. We're going to the Patriots game. Don't worry, I'm getting us tickets.
Awesome.
So just keep that in the back of your head, bro. We're going. All right.
Dude, I love you, cousin. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon, man. I appreciate you coming to hang out, dude.
Love you too, man. Y'all be easy. All right.
You too,
man. Peace and love. Gee, let's try this again. You with us? G. Cavassier, are you with us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Now I hear you. What's going on, dude?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh, nothing. I'm at work. My headphones are up. It's scratchy, but as long as that echo was out.
Yeah, there's no more echo.
Yeah, there's no echo. You're good, man. So what's going on, dude? What you thinking about this football team, bro? Oh, we lost him. Dude, you there?
Everything's
And no G.
gonna be okay, y'all.
Oh.
Yo, dude, your audio
He was
keeps
there
on
for a
dropping
second.
in
Yeah,
and out, man.
Hear me, man?
Yeah, say it again. I think I hear you now.
Or not.
Ah, damn, technology.
Y'all,
Nah, technology's
You hear me
tripping
good
Keeps
now?
me
cutting
up,
in and
man.
out.
Yeah. If you want, try and connect one more time, and we'll see if we'll see if it works. I'll try and get you in here. By the way, to whoever wants to join, come in, talk some bullshit. We can talk about whatever you want, man. We're talking Panther football, but if you want to talk about some other shit, dude, I'm down for that too, man. But yeah. So Zach, let's continue with this Chuba Hubbard thing. You know, I think running the football is obviously going to be incredibly important to Sam Darnold, right? Not having to depend on him to throw the football all the time. You know, I think it's going to tell me a lot about Matt Rhule, the amount of snaps that they do give Christian McCaffrey. Because as we all know, Ron Rivera was content to just run homeboy into the dirt. And
Yeah.
like, that is just not a sustainable method. You know, like we're not that's not for Christian, it's not for the football team. So
It's not good for anybody unless you're Derrick Henry.
Yeah, really, unless you're Derrick Henry.
He's built different.
He's definitely built different. But especially you know, knowing what Christian offers as a receiving threat too. I think you and Jeff kind of alluded to this, like the ability to run two running back sets, and you know they have no idea who the ball is going to go to on any given first down. So
yeah, because Chuba Hubbard is a very similar skill set to Christian, being the receiver.
Tyler,
And
what's
he's
up, bro?
super shifty too.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Chilling, buddy. What's going on, man?
Nothing, man. I was watching the New York Jets live practice today. They look really good, man. I'm kind of scared.
But the Jets look good, you said.
Yes.
Man, I heard a rumor that like hey, turn your volume down a little bit. We're getting some audio feedback. No, you're cool. I heard that what's his name? Zach Zach Wilson, that he had thrown like a bunch of interceptions at practice, and people were talking about it like, oh shit, here we go. Because apparently he hadn't looked good, but again, dude, it's Twitter. I have no idea what is or isn't real. You know, I don't know what to believe, you know.
Yeah, nobody will know until they put the pads on.
Truth. So what are you hearing, man? What are you seeing about the Jets?
I mean, these receivers, like Elijah Moore and forgot the other one that they had, the other rookie one that they drafted, but they were looking really good.
Are you talking about Mims?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mims. Yeah, all of them were looking good.
And they got Michael Carter too.
Yep, they're loaded. Look, man, Darnold
And their
can't
offensive
lose
line's not
anything.
bad anymore.
Well, they
I don't know
upgraded.
about that one.
It's a little bit better.
They got
They
Mekhi Becton at left tackle. I mean, they've got some players, but
And they just signed Morgan Moses too.
Yeah.
oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you.
They got Vera Tucker too.
I asked this to Tony and CK the other night. I'll ask y'all. Do you think that we're going to sign any more free agent players before the start of the season? Or do you think we're done? Or is it possible that we might even sign players during the season?
I would have liked to have seen HaHa Clinton Dix get signed
Me
a couple
too.
of weeks ago, but
Me too.
I mean, other than that, I don't really see anything unless somebody comes up, like somebody gets cut. But right now, I don't see it.
Yeah, I think they'll do it during the season. I don't think they're about to get anyone right now.
We've got the money to do it.
Yeah, which is weird, right? That's not something we're used to saying. We have the money to be able to make moves.
Right?
I mean, listen, I don't know about you guys. I've been thoroughly impressed so far with Scott Fitterer and what he's done as a general manager. I think everything from the draft to free agency, it was all very complimentary. I like the way that guy looks at building a football team.
Yeah, but this
Yeah.
first game, we're going to have to come out swinging or else it's going to get bad for us. Like, this first game it's just going to offset the whole season for us.
For sure.
If you're Sam Darnold, you have to want to show out in that game specifically, right? Not only is it the tone setter for the start of your season, and we're at home, and it's the team that originally drafted him and got rid of him in favor of some other young dude that's also going to be on the field. Like, dude, if that isn't the motivation to have you throw for 300 yards in your first game as a Panther, like, what is, you know?
Yeah. And, you know, everybody else on the team is going to feel that too. Like, the defense is going to want to show out to help Sam out. Because I think the better the team does overall, the better Sam will do.
But
That'd
there's
be kinda
something
cool.
we're still missing, though, and that's a left tackle.
I know, man.
Yeah.
I know.
Left tackle.
So who's going to be our starter at left tackle? I mean, this is like the $1 million question in Panther Nation. Like, do any of us, like I've been saying this on the podcast on Tuesday night, like none of us know who our left tackle is going to be this year. It could be one of like 4 different dudes.
If I had
And
to put
that's
money
kinda
on it, I
sad.
think it's going to be Cam Irving.
Okay.
I don't like that, but I think that's probably going to be the answer.
Yep.
So Cam Irving, damn, it's just
It's sad.
it really is, man, because it's like that could be the one thing that could be the Achilles heel to our season, man. Like, you know, I hope someone in our chat room mentioned Tommy Tremble. I hope he's ready to come in and block his ass off right away, because I have a feeling we're going to be putting him on that left side of the offensive line to help out a ton.
That's true.
Yep. I just don't see why we didn't draft Slater. Like that I just don't know why we did not draft Slater.
Yeah, I thought we were going to
Why
grab Slater.
we didn't draft him.
Well, not even Slater, too, but it's also some of the guys that were available in the early second round, too, like Dylan Raduns, Liam Eichenberg. I mean, I started the podcast talking about how pumped I am for J.C. Horn. And I think J.C. Horn is going to be the piece that puts our defense over the edge, right? I don't think we've ever had that talented of a corner prospect on this football team. With that said, I mean, not okay. But I mean, tell me, like, you know, what guy had the kind of athletic profile and NFL pedigree through his family? Like, have we ever had that kind of a player in our defensive backfield? I don't think so.
You could say Jeremy Chin. I mean, his uncle is Steve Atwater, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
And Chin's a physical freak too.
Chin, I don't think his PFF rating is higher than J.C. Horn's though.
No. Well, also too, we had to move him around a ton. He was playing linebacker and safety.
Yeah, it's like, where do you grade him at? He's just a defensive piece.
100%. But it definitely hurts that we're still talking about left tackle.
Yeah.
As a giant question mark, where nobody really knows what the hell we're going to be doing, you know?
Yeah.
Story of our lives.
Truly the story of our lives, especially if you're a Panther fan.
Ever since
and when we go to play teams like Washington, it's going to be hell on.
Oh, yeah. Washington's going to be a tough one.
You know what? I'm going to look at our schedule right now and go through the notable pass rushers that we know we're going to have to be facing this season.
Yep. You can already say Cam Jordan twice.
Special guest, man. Now, look, we have another guest. He's a South Carolina fan. I don't hold it against him. It's Dunk on Demand. What's going on, bro?
What up, no?
Hey, Brent. You're a man of your word. You said you were going to get that workout in and come hang out. So I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I got to get my workout on just in case the Panthers need me to come play left tackle. Trying to stay in shape.
Bro, can you? Like,
trying to stay in shape.
Bro, like,
even I could be a speed bump, so we just want to throw anybody out there. I could be a speed bump.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, we've been talking about, we have no answer at the left tackle position. Like, you can say Cam Irving. None of us will probably say Greg Little. Trent Scott. Like, none of us know who our starter is going to be at left tackle. And when you're trying to rejuvenate Sam Darnold's career, like, that could be an equation for catastrophe.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah. Sam, and it's an interesting thing. I mean, we know we've been starving for a left tackle for years. I mean, it was tough not addressing it. Well, we addressed it, but properly addressing it, I guess, in the draft.
Yeah.
I guess you can't really get all the pieces in one off. You can't plug all your holes in one off season. So I think about it like that. Were we planning on winning the Super Bowl this year? I doubt it, but I'm not as pissed off as everybody else, I guess. But at the same time, I understand the frustration completely. Now, who knows? Cam Irving can go out there and just completely turn his career around, or the same way we expect Sam Darnold to, and just be not a premier left tackle, but he can be a serviceable left tackle to get us over to the next guy with a long-term answer. The same way.
I think if he played average, he would exceed expectations.
Yeah, and I mean, there's different things you can do to mitigate. Granted, we have a lot of good quality defensive ends in this division. Like y'all were talking about, Cam Jordan, JPP, of course, Shaq Barrett, guys like that. But you can do different things. I mean, you can put a tight end on the side. We picked up Trimble in the draft. You can use him as a blocker there. Yeah. You can insert the quick passing game. I think Sam Darnold and Christian McCaffrey, that could be a match made in heaven. Just because Sam Darnold, I dropped it in my video today talking about things that get Sam Darnold in trouble is just kind of holding the ball too long, trying to force things, trying to make something out of nothing. But
throwing into double coverage.
Yeah, but now that you have the ultimate safety blanket, you can just check that thing down to Christian McCaffrey. Don't do it before you start thinking about doing anything stupid. Just check it down to Christian McCaffrey, let him spin.
He's open every play.
Yeah, and we have DJ for the quick he's good at yards after catch. We have some speed on the outside. I mean, you can do some things to kind of mitigate it, but yeah, I mean, definitely it's a long season, so you're gonna have to find some kind of answer at tackle eventually. Is it on the roster? We'll find out, but we'll see.
It's just tough, man, and it's not like I started this talking about J.C. Horn.
Yeah,
like I love what J.C. Horn does for us. I think that's kind of, if our defense is just a nasty, beastly defense this year, I think it's going to be because of J.C. Horn and our change to a more man-covered defense.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's going to be huge for us this year. So, I mean, yeah, even though we don't have a left tackle, it's like I'm happy as hell that we have J.C. here. And, like, my thing is this. Y'all remember when we had Darrell Williams playing right tackle and PFF was trying to force feed this line of bullshit? Like, oh, he was a top right tackle in the NFL. Meanwhile, we were always putting Ed Dixon on his side to help him block. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I'm worried that we're going to have to do a lot of that this year, which might tie up Dan Arnold or Tommy Tremble or even Chuba Hubbard and McCaffrey. You know, just having to mind that left side of the offensive line. I'm just hoping that it's not a problem for us.
Hey, Cody.
Yeah.
Do you think that Davion Nixon should start?
Oh, I'm telling you, dude. I'm hearing so much about this man. Like, everybody's saying that Davion Nixon next to Derek Brown might just be the stuff of nightmares, bro. And if that's true, then how did you not start him at 3 tech?
Yeah.
But again, I don't know. Like, we're going to have, you know, there's the guy that we brought in free agency. I think his name is Daquan Jones. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I even think that they might consider bumping Arturo Gross-Matos inside a little more. I wouldn't recommend that, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's something that they looked at.
I think there's a time and place for those type of packages, but yeah, I think Etor, and I'm not a big Etor fan like everybody else, to be honest. I just don't see it. I'll be glad to be wrong. I just don't see what everybody sees. I see the measurables and the motor. Will he become a diet JPP or a JPP light, whatever you want to call him? Maybe. But if you can learn how to rush from the 3-tech, in certain like pass rush packages, if you can put like a speed package on the field with. We can take Derek Brown off and put in Etor and maybe Morgan Fox and get like a NASCAR package. A lot of these teams like to call it when they put lighter guys in there. I mean, there's different things we can do because we have a lot of different defensive linemen. But I'm just not sold on Etor, man. I'm not. So I want to see something from him.
I don't blame anyone for not being sold on anyone. Like really anyone. Like I mean, you name them. They got a lot of stuff to prove. Look, and let's be honest about this too, right? We give a lot of flowers to DJ Moore. We give a lot of flowers to Brian Burns. And we're all like, oh, these guys are superstars waiting to happen. Well, I'll be damned if this ain't the time to put up or shut up, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're the man, it's time to go out there and be the man. Like, more so Brian Burns. And I'm not trying to, like, come down on him or saying he's not doing enough.
I get it.
But, like, at least DJ Moore is dependent on the quarterback being accurate and on time and in rhythm. Whereas, DJ Moore, now they got the Hassan Reddick on the other side. Derek Brown's in his second year. Like, we've added extra pieces on defense. And I think us moving to a man coverage type of defensive scheme, that's going to help him pin his ears back even more. So this season, there's no excuses for anyone, bro. No,
we have the talent. We got
it.
Oh, no doubt we have the talent. We just have to put it all together.
No, I agree with you, Cody. Nobody's beyond criticism or reproach. I mean, Brian Burns, as much potential as we've seen, he's been the only pass rusher guy we have. We still got to see double-digit sacks from him. I know he gets close, and every time, like, it's in him. He just has to finish. If he finished probably 50% of the sacks he missed, he would easily be a double-digit sack guy. So I think that's why we get kind of giddy about it. But we want to see him get home, cause turnovers and stuff like that. Now that we have another speed rusher on the other side, and then we beefed up the defensive line on the interior too. I mean, it's time to put up or shut up. Like you said, it's like nobody's beyond reproach. And as far as DJ, I got a question for y'all. So
yeah, man.
Let me paint a scenario. I know the rumors about trading Robbie because he's going into the contract year and stuff like that. All that was going on once upon a time. So let's say DJ Moore doesn't have a spectacular year. Let's say if he has another not marginal. Let's say he has another 1,000-yard year, but barely over 1,000 like he's been doing. But anywhere between 1,000 to 1,100 yards, it's okay. Obviously, we're going to give him a contract extension. But let's say he doesn't do that. Let's say he's at 900 or 1,000, he plays all the games. It's not because of health. What do you guys see about the situation? Let's say Robbie just goes the hell off. Let's say Robbie goes for 1,400 and 9 touchdowns, something like that. What do you see? Because our wide receiver room is kind of crowded. Do we kind of still let Robbie walk? Do we kind of bring Robbie back because we're not exactly sure DJ Moore is going to be that guy? I mean, we know DJ Moore is a 1,000-yard receiver, but there's a different upper echelon of wide receivers in the NFL that I don't think DJ is there yet. Yeah, he's underrated, but he's not the DeAndre Hopkins. He's not and he may never be that. He's not Devontae Adams. He's not those type of guys. But how do you guys feel about our wide receiver room? And do you think DJ can be? Do you think they pay him to be the man like we expect him or what we want him to be?
Okay, so I'll say this first. It depends on two different things. One, obviously, Sam Darnold. It's like if Sam continues to play like he did with the Jets, it's like it won't ever be DJ's fault because he just never had the guy to get him the football. So it depends on Sam. But I'll tell you something else. I said this last Tuesday night. I think Terrace Marshall has the potential to be a number one. And if he ends up blowing up this season, like if he has anywhere near the kind of trajectory that Justin Jefferson had playing for Minnesota last year, bro, I'm telling you, like we might look at it as, well, DJ is going to want a whole bunch of money. So maybe we do bring back Robbie Anderson and just roll with him and Terrace and Shi Smith, draft another one next year, and now you're not having to pay a number one wide receiver money. With that said, though, I have always made the comparison. of DJ Moore to DeAndre Hopkins for the simple fact that no one knew who DeAndre Hopkins really was until he had Deshaun Watson throwing him the football. DeAndre was always a high, up in the high hundreds, 1,000 yards, and he was doing that with no one throwing him the football. But then Deshaun comes in, and now, DeAndre's a household name.
You're telling me Tom Savage is a nobody?
Yeah, right? Dude, if Sam turns out to actually live up to his potential, dude, DJ Moore is going to be on the tip of everyone's tongue. I genuinely believe that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And I think the thing that can put DJ over the top is the deep ball. We have yet to see DJ catch like a long ball and just take it to. We saw Robbie do it multiple times a couple times last year. The Raiders game obviously comes to mind right off the top. But we haven't seen DJ really get one like that where he just catches it over the top that long. And I mean, I guess the Saints game, he caught that one down the seam. But we haven't seen him catch one down the sideline like that and just get it and go. Just run by somebody and get it and go. I think there's a lot of plays that he was underthrown by Teddy or he was underthrown by Kyle Allen, of course, or Cam or stuff like that. I think there's a lot of meat left on the bones when it comes to DJ in the deep passing game that we haven't tapped into. Now, do we have the offensive line to be able to fully tap into that?
Right.
Time will tell. I mean, like I said, there's ways you can scheme to make up for your offensive line being not that great. Will it force us to go to a shorter passing team? I don't know. That can handcuff DJ again, but I think there's still a lot of meat left on the bones for DJ, but I mean, he's got to do it. We can shoulda, coulda, woulda, and talk about potential all day, but potential don't mean nothing until you put it on the field.
True.
So,
y'all want to know what's stopping DJ Moore, though? One, consistency, and two, like Cody said, the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what
if we want DJ to make those seam ball passes, we gotta get someone that can throw down the seam.
Yeah.
It's like the receiver position is so dependent on the quarterback. And also because of that too, like we're all craving the deep ball passes, right? But we also have to be prepared that in order for those to happen, Joe Brady is going to set up that short game, second level passing attack, getting guys open in space, using your number advantages, especially having guys like DJ Moore and McCaffrey that are so shifty in open space. Like, get the ball out of his hand. Like they don't want to. I think maybe dropping back might be something that they would do against the Jets because the Jets, like, they don't have a notorious pass rush, and who knows what their defensive line is going to be this year. So maybe to start the season, they might want to take some shots. But Joe Brady has to incorporate that intermediate level passing attack in order to really open up the down the field stuff.
Yeah, true.
Thankfully, we have the talent to do that, though.
Yeah.
Terrace Marshall and DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson. Bro, like this receiving core for the Panthers is legitimate, man. It's legitimate.
Any injury concerns for Terrace?
Kinda. Just because it was a problem for him last year.
Yeah.
He missed OTAs. So, you're hoping that he can stay healthy. But damn, dude, when he was a red zone nightmare for LSU in 2020.
That's what I'm excited for.
Did y'all see LSU versus Oklahoma? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Harris was going off.
Oh, yeah.
Torched him.
Yeah. So, I mean, let me ask y'all this. Since we didn't have preseason last year, who's the second-year player that we didn't get to really get playing time last year that you guys maybe are most excited to see what they can do in preseason and when they're given a chance? They may not be a full-time – well, we may not be looking at them as somebody that can really make an impact now because they haven't shown anything, but is there any guys that we drafted last year? Obviously, they're defensive players. Is there anybody that we drafted last year that you guys are kind of excited to see get some significant playing time in the preseason?
I think Kenny Robinson.
Yeah.
Okay. We definitely need safety, man. Yeah. Does he play safety? Am I getting that messed up?
He does.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, dude. Please, any safety that wants to step up, feel free to do it, man. Like what Sideshow Bob. what Sideshow Bob said. Rob
Sam
said
Franklin too. Yeah.
Is it? Well, we need a free safety, man. We just need someone to step up. And I was talking about this earlier, Aaron. That's like, we have so little depth at the safety position, and we're going to move Jeremy Chin back to strong safety. So we have to understand that there's going to be like a period in which, he's having to learn and have those growing pains because they had him doing so much last year.
Yeah.
So it's like right now the safety position is one of my biggest. Everyone says left tackle, and rightfully so. But one of my biggest concerns is our safety position, especially free safety. Like, I'm really worried about that. So if Robinson wants to turn it on and be something, I'm pumped for that. And then the easy answer for me is Derek Brown. I mean, it might not – he was our first-round pick, but I think our entire defensive identity is going to flow through him being dominant in the middle. But just letting Brian Burns play fast, letting Reddick play fast, letting everyone around them play fast, like just being that monster in the middle. I want to see him take a big step this year.
Yeah,
for sure. I
mean, my answer to that my own question is Etor. Obviously, I just gotta see it, man. I gotta see it, man.
To say that too.
I gotta see it, man. I want to get excited about him, but he doesn't move the needle for me, man. I don't know. I got to see it.
They just need to put him in rotation. That's all that is. See how he does in rotation.
Yeah, he's a high motor guy. Will he be able to kind of hone in all the raw measurables and talent? I guess he has. Time will tell. But I got to see it. I mean, he made some plays last year. Like I said, a lot of those off of effort. But you got to be a little bit more polished in this league. You can't really just get by on your athleticism and size because everybody's big and athletic in the NFL. This is the NFL,
Yeah.
You're not gonna be facing Cam Irvin every week, so you gotta be able to have some technique and some pass rush moves.
So here's my question for y'all: do we think that Dante Jackson has the Josh Norman type of year? Like, is Dante? A lot of people either love Dante or they hate Dante or they want to move him to free safety, like JD54 says. And I hear this a lot, and it's like, how is this going to end? Is Dante Jackson actually going to step up and be able to be a shutdown corner on the opposite side of JC? Because we're going to move Horn around.
I think it's based on how JC Horn does.
True. Okay.
Because if you see him doing good, he's going to do good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we're probably just going to let JC Horn roam around. Like, we're just going to let him be the matchup dude. If it's Kyle Pitts or, whoever the receiver on the roster is that we're going up against, I think they're going to put Horn on him.
Yeah, JC always followed the best receiver whenever he was with South Carolina.
Sideshow Dante is like 5'10" and some change.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a big dude
at all.
No, he's fast as hell though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's legit one of the fastest players in the NFL. I mean, he runs a legit 4.31, so he has all the speed.
I think he ran faster than that.
Somewhere near there, either high 4.2s, low 4.3s. So yeah, man, we're just, I'm hoping that he can take that next step, but I don't know if he's too small to even play the position. Like, I want to believe that he's fine. I know other guys have done it and are doing it, but again, it's like what I said to y'all earlier. Like, pick a player on the football team other than McCaffrey, and they all have proven to do. And even McCaffrey has to prove that he can stay healthy. So everyone has a bunch of proving to do this year, man.
Even the coaches.
Oh yeah.
Especially the coaches.
Even the coaches. For Dante, I mean, I like Dante. He's got to stay healthy. Literally, I think if he stays healthy, he'll be fine. Like,
his big toe was hurt, bro.
Or was it a groin one time too? It was like, I don't know. He's like 175 pounds, bro. And it's like, but I think JC coming in is a good thing. That way, he's not forced into bad matchups. I think Dante has potential as a playmaker, obviously with his ball skills. But some matches are just not good. Like Mike Evans, not good for him. Like we saw that last year on
Mike
multiple
Evans
occasions.
toasted him.
Will he be okay against a Godwin? I mean, Godwin clicked him a little bit too, but I feel a lot more comfortable with him going against a smaller receiver versus somebody that's 6'4", 6'5", that can run like a antelope, like Mike Evans and stuff like that. So when you have a small speed guy, and then you have a guy like J.C. Horn, who he showed he has a little bit of speed at his pro day, but he's more of he has more length and he can be a little bit more physical. You can match up a little bit more, and we know we have a plethora of skill sets in this division, so I think it's a good combination to have. And then with Bouye, if we can keep all three on the field, healthy, in the lineup, there's some things we can do as far as mixing and matching and stuff like that. And Dante can play a little bit of nickel too. Obviously, they say I think AJ is going to be the primary nickel, I guess, to start out with. But I think it's all about matchups. And I think we have a variety of skill sets from our corners, from size and athleticism, that we can do some things matching up. Now, the D-line is going to have to play a role to help them out too. But they're going to have to earn their money this year because our division, the receivers in our division are no slouches. You don't get too many breaks because of the NFC South.
And real quick, if anybody wants to join in on this conversation, I put the link to the StreamYard in the chat. We're just hanging out, talking Panther football, man. Today is for the fans. Whatever y'all want to talk about, come in here and hang with us, man. So to that point, you brought up AJ Bouye.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what role do we foresee him actually having this year? Like, are we just going to sub out between Dante and AJ and just have different packages kind of selected for the both of them? Who's playing nickel? Like, what do we envision AJ doing for us?
I've heard that he's being tried to play at nickel, which he hasn't really done in his career. So I personally think that they're going to have him be like a backup outside, like filling in for JC or Dante, if they need like a breather or whatever.
Okay.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I think they're going to lean on Pride to play nickel.
Oof. I don't know. Not in front of Bouye, in my opinion. Well, obviously Bouye's going to be out initially. So, yeah, Pride will definitely be the first, I guess, for lack of a better word, the sixth man off the bench when it comes to that. But I think, this is the NFL now, man. People come out in 3 wide sets all the time. So you're in your nickel package a lot. And then especially if we try to do a 3-3-5 or a 4-2-5 nickel, stuff like that, depending on who's in. We have a lot of versatility, so stuff can be interchangeable. So the nickel is almost like that fifth DB if we run a 3-3-5 or if we run that 4-2-5. So you're not a bench player, but like I said, it just depends. With Dante being able to play the slot, we can do some things with moving those guys around, but I think he definitely has a role because you can never have too many corners in the NFL, So, especially when you have a guy like Dante who's can be hurt at a drop of a hat. You need that little bit of insurance. So I think his role is ultimately insurance, but as a vet, when AJ Bouye is on the field, he can be effective. It's just, like I said, the suspension and some injuries in prior years. People got to stay on the field. That's the main thing about it. So I don't know. I think he definitely has a role. Pride, where does he fit in? I don't know. And that's another guy we'll see, I guess, in preseason, like I was talking about, that can get some burn and just show some stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah, man, especially that nickel corner position. That's, because I feel like we have a bunch of different options. Like I feel we'll probably see Jeremy Chin there sometimes. Again, we shout out to JDO. He also brought up Keith Taylor. Put Dante in the slot and free safety position, and that secondary would be terrifying. And again, maybe we're kind of hoping that Taylor can be a good press man NFL corner. That's what he did at Washington.
Yeah,
he was just manning people up, long arms, not overly fast, but he can stay with you. So again, but even that's not a guy that you can depend on to be able to come in right away and be able to do that. But yeah, you made a great point too. Especially with Dante, his toe be hurting, man. So that toe hurts him, bro. So we gotta have guys to be able to come in and pick up the slack if his toe is hurting, man. He needs to get some orthotic socks or something, bro.
I don't know what he got going on,
bro.
if he can stay on the field, man, like I have a lot of confidence in Dante. I mean, he has confidence in himself. You know, he can be a head case at times, but I mean, he's been in the league long enough to the point that we should know what we can get from him. We just have to get him on the field. Now, what you were talking about with some of the younger guys, well, I guess JDO was mentioning. I don't like the idea of Dante at free safety just because he's not a great tackler, especially if he has to run the alley. You know, I can imagine Dante coming down the alley and Fournette's coming through there or Kamara's coming through there.
No,
or, you know what I'm saying?
That's bad.
I just don't know. He's 175, 180 pounds. And 20 pounds of that is dreads. So I mean, he doesn't have a lot of nickels in his pocket. So I don't like him being the last line of defense when it comes to tackling in a run game. But I mean, he's fast enough to be rangy if they put him back there. So I understand where he's coming from, saying possibly putting Dante in free safety. But I want to see what we can do with Burris, man, and Sam Franklin. We'll see what we got. I mean, those guys. I think Burris really he didn't really get the short end of the stick, but I don't think he was a household name, and he didn't really make any splash plays to the point that everybody's like, oh, he's good. So we don't really. Everybody's kind of the confidence in him is not as high. Now we'll see. He's a vet. They obviously liked him because they haven't addressed the free safety position as of yet. So we'll see. You know, and the free safety position, safety position in general, just kind of been devalued in the league now. Because remember last year when we saw Trey Boston, it was like hella vets out there that just really were just they hadn't got a contract for whatever reason. Yeah. You know, back in the day, you had Ed Reed, Palomalu, Brian Dawkins. So you think that you need that free safety to patrol the field and that enforcer. Yeah. But the game has kind of changed a little bit, man, and it doesn't seem like teams don't put as much value on it as they used to. So.
They definitely don't. They definitely don't value it as much. And I mentioned this earlier. We were hearing reports that we had Clinton Dixon. Yeah. And like, dude, that would have been the perfect signing for us. Yeah. To the point that like I don't understand why that hadn't happened yet. Because look, real talk, man. Whenever I hear y'all talk about maybe Justin Burris will step up, but dude, or Kenny Robertson, it's like. A part of my soul dies thinking about that, dude. Like, we have no real safety help, and especially at the free safety position. And what you're saying must be true. Like in the NFL, the safety position is slowly and surely being devalued to the point where they just feel like, well, if it continues to be a problem, there's probably going to be enough available to sign later on. So why address that right now?
Yeah. Do you think I didn't really hear the final word on how I know he didn't leave with a deal. Do you think they kick the tires on him and bring him in the training camp?
I think, dude, I hope so. I really do hope so.
Smart.
Yeah. I mean, somebody will get him. That's the thing. I don't think he's been picked up yet, has he?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything about him.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if I feel like we may be missing something. Granted, he's a vet. It's not like he's some rookie guy that you're bringing in and like, okay, he became in the OTAs. We need to see him in Pat. No, you know what he can do. We've seen him. He's been a vet in this league. He's been on some talented rosters and some talented secondaries. It'll be interesting. I want to hear you guys take on J.C. Horn as far as like, what do you think he can do in his first year? I know the measurables and the pedigree is there, but sometimes a lot of these corners take lumps in their rookie year, especially with the division we have. Like I said, in the roster, the schedule we have, he's going to be tested. Like, tested, like standardized tested, SAT, whatever you want to call it. He's going to get tested. Now, we've seen Jalen Ramsey have come out as a rookie and be solid. We've seen Stephon Gilmore have a solid rookie season. What do you think he does? Do you think he takes his lumps? Because remember when we had that young secondary with Bradbury, Worley, Zach Sanchez, and like Drew Brees literally like destroyed us in the Superdome? Like I have a bad memory of just getting cooked, you know.
And Julio for 300.
Exactly. I don't even want to mention that. And so, but do you think he can actually be one on that level of Ramsey or Gilmore? Or do you think, okay, we know he's going to be good eventually, but we expect him to take his lumps this year? Like, what are your expectations for him?
I mean, you just want me to talk good about the South Carolina player.
I'm a little skeptical. I like JC. I like JC, obviously, but I'm a little skeptical of rookie corners, man, in the NFL.
My complete unbiased opinion is I really do think he's got Defensive Rookie of the Year potential. Okay. And this kind of goes unnoticed. Brett Coleman pointed it out in his video about J.C. Horn. The amount of progress that he made from his sophomore season to his junior season.
Yeah, I watched that.
Some of those guys when he was still a sophomore, Devonta Smith got the better of him a couple times. Jalen Waddle. There were players that got the better of JC, but all the small details that he was missing on in his sophomore year, junior year, he was just on point. Like he took the next step. So that shows me a self-awareness to understand that he knows that there's a bunch that he still has left to learn, and he's interested in making that jump. So I think he's a hard worker. I don't think the Panthers have ever had quite the physical freak show talent that J.C. Horn represents at that position. Dude, I think the sky's the limit for him. Like, I think he could be Jalen Ramsey or potentially even better, man. Like, I'm really high on JC, bro.
Yeah, I think he's going to be really good. I mean, I watched some of his tape. The only player I saw him have like real trouble against is Jalen Waddle, but I didn't see anybody stick Jalen Waddle that good. That dude's a beast. Yeah. But other than that, I think he should be good.
He should definitely be. Zach, what you think, man?
I have high expectations for JC. I think he'll get tested a lot, as most rookies do. But I think he'll show more good tape than bad overall. Like, because I know like Jeffrey Okudah last year, everybody thought he was going to be the man for Detroit, and he was okay, but I bet him going into his second season he'll show out a little bit more. But then again, it's Detroit, so you never know. But I think JC will be solid. I don't know if he'll get Rookie of the Year just because, corners don't get it often. You saw Lattimore get it a little bit ago, but, it's usually like defensive ends. So, I don't know.
Hey, Tyler, I muted your microphone for a minute because you got an echo coming through. The echo is still kind of coming through a little bit.
Let me try to turn it down.
No, you're cool. So when it comes to JC, like I said this earlier, I'm just excited because to me, it signals a shift in our defensive mindset that I think just benefits our front seven. We want to man you up. We want to play aggressive. We want to be in your hip pocket. We want to suffocate the opposing quarterback. And I think that defensive shift is going to help us so much. So for that alone, I'm excited about what Horn represents. But then, when you look at him as a football player, 6'2.5", 215 pounds, runs a 4.4 or a 4.3 or something crazy like that. He's a top tier athlete, man. And that's what wins championships, when you're able to shut down receivers, especially in our division. Like, we know it doesn't matter who the quarterback is for the Saints. We know Matt Ryan's going to throw the ball deep, and we know Tom Brady's going to throw the ball deep, and they have the weapons to do so. Mm-hmm. So, it's important that JC turns out for us and is the player that we drafted him to be right away.
Yeah, long term, I have no issue with JC. I think, I agree with everything you just said. Long term, right. I just know the physicality in NFL is a little bit different, as far as, and I agree, we probably haven't had, I guess Chris Gamble was about 6'1", probably, but he wasn't nearly as physical, in my opinion, I don't think, as JC seems to show as far as, and he's a little bit smaller than JC, but Chris Gamble he had the athleticism, obviously, he played both ways at Ohio State, and he was, obviously, he's probably the best corner in team history, in my opinion. JC is a different breed. And like I said, I agree. I watched the same video you watched with Brett, and it was interesting to see that. And just looking at his little training videos, I don't get really super excited like everybody else does, but what you can notice is that he's a technician. Like even not just doing, he doesn't just do drills and go through. No, you can see the little interception that we saw in minicamp. You can see him staying low and staying low in the back pedal. You can see the quick feet. You can see like I said, it's just technique. And technique is literally everything. You can see the patience. Looking at it right now.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Look how agile he is, bro.
The feet.
He stays in his hip pocket the entire time.
I like how he stays square initially and just stays patient. Granted, this is Robert Foster, but I mean, yeah, it's dope. But I'm excited. I'm anxious to see how he's gonna be, man. Like I'm really anxious to see. And like you said, the fact that he made that improvement, like I said, that makes me feel so much better about his future. Now it's just about the instant impact. It's tough being an instant impact guy in the NFL, but like you said, Jalen Ramsey, similar skill set, the physicality, the bravado, the confidence. Is there? I mean, he's going to definitely have a chance to prove that he can be that guy this year. Like I said,
100%.
He's going to have to do that every year, and I would love for it to happen that year one. But I agree. I think that in terms with Brian Burns and Hassan Riddick can be. I mean, it can help him a lot. Like I said, it's going to go hand in hand, him pressing up and stuff like that. And we haven't really played man coverage like that. That zone coverage, it seems so helpless playing against these quarterbacks in our division because they feast on zone. Like it seems like until last year, I can't remember the last time we got to Drew Brees and got a good lick on him like we did with Brian. When Brian Burns obliterated him, you know? Because those guys just used to pick us apart because we already ran cover 3 and zone and stuff like that. So it's like, I cannot wait to see us run man coverage out here. I want to see J.C. Horn jam the shit out of Michael Thomas's ass at the line of scrimmage. Keep that bullshit out, that bullshit slant routes and intermediate routes.
Say it, bro.
Out of here. That shit is dead when it comes to J.C. You know, especially when he has a different quarterback now that's not as bright, I guess.
And we know because Jameis isn't going to be as efficient on.
No, his ball placement is not. Half the battle is ball placement because Drew Brees is so accurate in that short and intermediate game. He's putting in the spot where Michael Thomas can extend and catch it, and Michael Thomas may have somebody draped all over him because he's not a super fast wide receiver. He's a possession guy. But I don't think whoever they're going to put at quarterback is going to be able to have the accuracy to put the ball in the right places for Michael Thomas to excel if you put somebody physical on him like JC. So I'm excited to see that matchup just because I hate Michael Thomas so bad.
We'll get to see it early.
I do too, bro.
And I think he's overrated. I mean,
we'll get to see it early.
Yeah, exactly. He's a quality wide receiver, but I just can't get excited about. I mean, I can't give respect to a guy catches a 2-yard slant and flexes his arm. Like it pisses me. Every time he does that, it pisses me off.
He legit runs like 2 routes on the route tree.
Exactly.
Like that's it. He runs a go on the slant.
It pisses me off.
That's his shit, bro. That's his whole MO. And I started the show talking about defense, and I was like, we have so many questions about our offense that most people want to sit around and wonder what we're going to be like on offense, rightfully so. But dude, I'm thinking about what our defense has the potential to be this year, and we're in that perfect scenario where no one's really talking about us. They're talking about Washington defensive line. They're talking about the Cardinals. They're talking about the Rams. No one is talking about our defense, bro. But if you look at all the players that we have and how this defense is coming together, dude, this has the potential to be a defense that really comes out of nowhere and makes people go, oh, this Carolina team is a little bit different than we thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's not me just being a biased Homer fan. Like, I legit feel that in my bones that this defense has a real potential to be special, man.
And we've had some good defenses, and I think that's why we get so frustrated because we've been spoiled. Like, if anything else has gone wrong, we've had some good top 10 defenses going back in the Rivera era, obviously with I can't even remember his name right now. Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott, you know, those multiple top 10 defenses we've had. But I think we can have a top 10 defense, but I think it's going to look a little bit different than usual. I mean, we used to be knock them around, really physical team. I think we're going to be pretty physical, but I think we didn't always have the speed element that we do now. We have a lot of speed and versatility, so I think we're going to bring a different element to the defense this year versus what we've seen from our good defenses in the past. Usually, like I said, we build from the front to the back. Front seven is always legit, and we just get by with what we can in the secondary. I think that we have the speed and athleticism and the versatility everywhere to really do some things that we can match up. We can give a lot of different looks, and it's one thing to adjust and make adjustments to the offense. But when your defense is so good that the teams have to adjust to you, that's where you want to be at. You want to be able to dictate what teams do. Because, like I said, what do you want on the D-line? Do you want Derek Brown on the inside with Davion Nixon or Morgan Fox or whoever's in there, or Jones in there with Burns and Riddick coming out the edge? Do you want to bring blitz Jeremy Chin from the secondary? Do you want to drop Brian Burns or Hassan Riddick back? What do you want to? Say we have a lot of different options we can do with the personnel we have, because multiple guys can play multiple positions. They may not be able to be as good at that position as they are at their primary position, as thinking Hassan Riddick or Brian Burns when they drop into coverage, but they can get by enough that we can keep defenses on their toes with different zone blitzes and different packages like that and different stunts and stuff. And we have a range of skill sets, man. So I'm giddy about the defense, but I want to know, you guys, do you think we have a chance to actually be a balanced team where both sides of the ball are actually good? Because it seems like we always have one side of the ball carries the other in years past. Do you think we actually have a chance to be balanced, or do you think like the defense is going to be carrying the offense for the most part?
I feel like we have too many weapons on offense to not be.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I guess it all depends on Sam, really, but
yeah, I thought last year.
I think we can.
I thought we had too many weapons last year, but now we're really loaded. We're really loaded, honestly. I agree with what you're saying now.
I mean, we have the type of team where we really can't rely on one side of the ball, but both sides are good, but like we can't just rely on one side of the ball. We don't have.
That's a good point.
I'll say it to you like this. I said this last Tuesday night. I don't think that we're going to be a middle of the pack football team. We're either going to be turned all the way up, or we're going to be picking top 10 again. Like I really do think it's a boom or bust scenario, because when you look at all the things that we just talked about, right? All the defensive players that we have coming together that are going to benefit from each other. Denzel Perriman, Hassan Reddick. You add them to Brian Burns, Derek Brown. You throw in J.C. Horn, like Jeremy Chin's coming back. We have so many talented players on our defense. And then you look at the offense, and it's like, we have receivers everywhere, man. Dude, Shi Smith might – look, me and Tony have been debating on what kind of rookie season Shi Smith might have.
Yeah.
And I think Shi Smith can come in. Like, dude, we could go 5 deep. Bro, we could, like, legit, like, go downfield with this. Like, have a downfield passing attack, too. I just think that if Sam is able to turn it on and be better than he was, like, I don't see how we don't have a complimentary football team. Because even if Sam starts making mistakes early on, like, now we have the defense to help with that. Theoretically, I might say.
On paper,
if we're going to play aggressive, if we're going to be able to take the football away, give the football back to Sam after he might make some mistakes. And people have to hold up, too, like on J.C. Horn, on Sam. Dude, there's going to be a lot of newbie mistakes, and everyone's going to want to throw him under the bus. We have to be patient a little bit and let these dudes find their rhythm. And after that happens, I could easily see us pushing to be a playoff contender, for real.
Yeah, especially with them expanding the field, for sure. I hate to think about it like that, boom or bust, but I would hope so. That way you are picking higher if you are bad, not middle of the pack, and you didn't have to move accordingly from there.
Like another 9-8 season, dude, that'd be terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not down with that. T-Money, what's up, bro?
What's up, fellas? What's up?
What up, man?
Chilling, bro. Talking some Panther football, dude.
Yeah. It's not that time, ain't it?
It's getting close.
Jump in on this conversation, bro. Right now, we've been talking about the defense. Saying, like, we have the potential to be one of the the more underrated defenses in the NFL. Like this defense could really show up and show out, and we're all kind of thinking that that's a real possibility for us.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think it's a lot of pass rush that. I mean, a lot of people are, assuming Hassan and Brian Burns are going to do their thing, but it's a lot of guys that we haven't seen in a minute, like Christian Miller. I mean, last time we saw him, he was getting 2 sacks in the game.
Yo, I forgot that name for real.
Yeah, I forgot he was on the team.
I forgot Christian Miller, bro.
Yeah.
Between him, I'm interested in seeing year 2 in YGM because I personally think Penn State is just bad at coaching defense. I don't know what their defense coaches
bro.
But during the draft, when I was like, Jason Owa runs a 4.37 and had 0 sacks.
But why they have all that talent and can't do a damn thing with it?
I said 4.37. You can accidentally get a sack just from being fast.
Bro, dude, Michael Parsons had all the physical talent in the world. And there were sometimes it's like he looked like he didn't even know what cap he was supposed to be minding.
Like, was worth a shit.
I was like, I don't know what Penn State is doing on defense, but I just feel like their guys got to be undercoached.
Has to. Yeah.
Don't question that strength and conditioning program. You can question the coach because they got some athletes, but you're right.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. I was like, that threw me because I was kind of upset when Baltimore got him. I was like, dang, that's a good pick because Baltimore always have good drafts to me.
Yeah.
I was like 4.37 and you can Vic Beasley and have no moves and get a sack.
Especially in college.
Oh yeah.
Because you're gonna play the school of the deaf and blind, or the Mother Mary school of Catholics, at least
That's
twice
what
a year.
I'm saying. Like you didn't even have a crazy sack game against the no-name schools.
Yeah, like come on.
Southeastern Alabama University or some shit.
Yeah.
It honestly drove me up a wall, man. They're not good teachers over there, and they have a ton of talent. And I think that's true with the YGM also, man. Like you were talking about Aaron, YGM, how you haven't been that impressed with him. And the dude does have a ton of potential, but again, he has to realize that potential here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. But I think he could have a good year this year, or at least better than what he did last year, because I don't really remember him. I mean, I know he's a better run defender as a defensive end than pass rusher, but I just felt like I was going to get a little bit more out of him last year.
Yeah, I was talking
Jermaine, you're on the podcast, bro.
I wanted to see something from him, too. I want to see more.
What's good?
Chilling, bro. I appreciate y'all all coming in here and chilling out with me, man. This is a impromptu last minute. I'm like, man, let me just throw something together and bullshit and talk some Panther football, man. I'm gonna try and do this every Friday, especially as the season gets going too. I'm gonna do a free-for-all Friday and just let everybody come in here, say whatever the hell they want to, man. I don't care who you are. Y'all can come in here and just talk about whatever you want. Jermaine, man, what you got to add to this conversation, bro?
Wow, man. I've been arguing. I know y'all don't know, but I'm in Louisiana, so I'm in Saints country down here. Right. So it's a struggle, but my thing is, I've been harping all off season, and I made quite a few bets that we'll have a top 10 defense this year. I said probably 12. I'll say probably 12 to 15 in the early portion of the year. I'm expecting J.C. Horn to have his, go through his ups and downs as a corner. But the good thing about it is, anytime you have a good defensive line, it helps out your corners. Period.
Yeah, for sure.
And it hides their flaws if they have any. So I'm looking forward to some good things. A healthy Dante Jackson. I'm looking for him to have a breakout season this year. I think this is his contract year, right?
Yeah. Dante's in the contract year. DJ Moore's in the contract year. Yeah, man. We got some players, and I was saying this earlier to Aaron and Zach and them. It's like every single player on this football team, I feel, has a ton to prove. Like, there isn't a single player that you can name on this football team right now and say that they don't have something to prove. Dante has to prove he can be a full-time starter. Christian McCaffrey has to prove that he can stay healthy. Brian Burns, we all think that Brian Burns is a superstar pass rusher waiting to happen. Like, bro, this year's that shit to get off the pot year, man. Like, it's really time for our superstars to be superstars. If we're going to have any chance at this division.
That's part of having the youngest team in the league is you still have guys that are all, looking to prove something. I mean, like you said, everybody. I mean, Brian Burns got to prove he can have a 10-sack year because as good as he is, he hasn't had that yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, then I think our age will be even younger if Fletcher beats out J.J. Jansen.
That's true.
Like 40 years off the average.
Yep. Do any of us have any strong opinion on the long snapper? Like, to me, it don't matter either way. Like, J.J. Jansen or the young dude, like, I don't know, man. Like, if we're gonna go younger for money,
can they play left tackle?
Yeah, real talk. Can they play left tackle?
Right.
And J.J. Jansen actually be making tackles. I don't know.
That's true.
And my whole thing, if Fletcher was surprised he got drafted, then maybe he shouldn't have got drafted.
Yeah.
But I ain't going to kill him for it either. You got the negative Panther fans. I ain't going to kill their whole draft because they drafted a long snapper.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit too much.
Well, plus, we got so many different value positions, too, man. We got a receiver in this. I think Brady Christensen will be a starting member of our offensive line. This is damn well better be. I'm hoping, dude. How about this? If Brady Christensen doesn't start this year in some way, shape, or fashion, dude, that's a wasted draft pick.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. Like, even if it doesn't, like, even if it's later on this season, that's a wasted draft pick with the holes that we have on our offensive line. If he doesn't play, dude, that's a bad pick.
So you're expecting day one starter?
That's going to depend on the different mentality of Ron versus Matt Rhule, because I don't think Matt Rhule is necessarily doing the Ron Rivera. You have to sit out half the year and then we start starting you at the end of the year. I think if you're ready to go now, you're ready to go now.
I'm hoping that Matt Rhule has that kind of foresight to him. I think he will, though. Being a college coach, like, how are you going to have trepidations against putting young dudes on the field? You know what I mean? Like, that's all you're used to dealing with is young football players. And Sideshow Bob mentioned, too, Deontay Brown. Like, dude, that guy is such a mauler on film. If he can, be a serviceable offensive lineman for us, we actually have good depth. I mean, we have a bunch of names. None of them stand out. But between Paradis and Deontay Brown and David Moore, who went undrafted also, like, bro, we have some guys on the squad. We just need someone to step up and play left tackle. And right now, no one knows who that is, man. Like, no one knows who's going to play left tackle for us.
Yeah.
When's the last time we could really say we had offensive linemen we was developing?
Probably Norwell, right?
Trey Turner, Andrew Norwell.
I thought Trey was a day one.
Yeah, but Trey was it. But yeah, we drafted him in the third round, and he was a day one starter. But like that, we developed him. From the start.
You're saying like, You saying what do you mean by develop?
Like, your depth that we know is going to be the future at a position on the line.
Like Cody was saying and Zach was saying, or Norwell is undrafted free agent. He was undrafted free agent. It's all pro in 5 years. It took 4 years.
I'm throwing that name up on screen right now because
he who should not be named.
But here's the deal, bro. Ron Rivera, if Amini Solotolu wouldn't have gotten injured, Ron Rivera would have started him over Andrew Norwell. Like, straight up. He would have started him. It took an injury for Andrew Norwell to start to play with us. Now, regardless of whatever you think about him now playing for Jacksonville, like that guy was an instrumental part of what the Panthers were doing from 2014 to when did we lose him? Was it 2017?
I think it was 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the time he was here, dude. Khalil, Turner, and Norwell, dude, those were all monsters in the middle. They gave Cam Newton the pocket to have an MVP season.
Yeah.
And I thought I had this conversation with a Panther fan the other day. I said, just remember all the crazy stuff Ron used to tell us. He used to tell us Nate Chandler was going to go from being a defensive tackle to a guard, or no, to a tackle. He told us what Brian Bell was going to be better because he was left-handed, so he's going to be a better left tackle. Ron used to just tell us anything, boy.
Oh yeah.
Just any old thing, man. Like, and he knows that he'll never have to answer for it because we'll just have to take whatever answer he gave, man. Like, I don't know. I could go on and on about Rivera, man, but
I mean, he had Burns playing gunner.
I done got Ron's autograph and everything, but some of that was okay.
I hate to throw a wrench in the conversation, but I think we all know what the elephant in the room is, how our season's gonna go, and it all depends on our quarterback.
Oh yeah.
I feel like he doesn't have to be stellar. I feel like the only thing that he doesn't have to do is make mistakes. That's and when I say mistakes, I mean turnovers.
Right.
He could be a serviceable quarterback this year. On the flip side, I think also what I've noticed is they're slowly gathering pieces for a whole team just in case Sam Darnold does not work out. We'll be in position to bring in a veteran quarterback that would be serviceable within 2 years, that could take over and have all these weapons for him. That's just how I see it. I think honestly, I really want to say this is probably, I haven't seen this many offensive weapons on the team ever. Potential offensive weapons since they've came into existence. I haven't seen this many. I'm actually really excited about the offense. At wide receiver, running back, even at tight end, I'm actually excited.
I'm super. Let's do this. Let's go through each one of y'all, and I've kind of asked y'all this a little bit, but like, are we believing in Sam Darnold? Like, are we just trying to be optimistic Panther fans and like be excited about the season, or do we actually think that this guy can turn it around? Because I really do think that I said this earlier, seeing the kind of jump that Joe Burrow took under Joe Brady at LSU, and Joe Burrow was like a 5th or 6th round kind of pick before, and then Joe Brady's brought in, and that's just what the doctor ordered. Like, I don't think I'm outlandish for thinking that same thing.
The part that people leave out, and before that, he ran from Ohio State because he didn't want to compete with Dwayne Haskins of all people.
So, dude, all the more like I believe in Sam Darnold, and I think that it's, I'm trying to convince myself I'm not just wanting to believe it because I'm a Panther fan. Like, I actually do think that this guy has the potential to turn it on and rejuvenate his career here. If Ryan Tannehill can do it in Tennessee, why the hell can't Sam do it here?
Mm-hmm.
I believe he can. I just don't want him to see Ghost. As long as he doesn't see Ghost, I believe that they're going to put him in a position to where it'll be extremely hard for him to screw up, especially in the beginning of the season. And I feel like they'll bring him along. I'm honestly not expecting too much from him at the beginning of the season. I'm really not. From what I've been hearing from other players, I don't know if they're just saying that just because he's on the team, but even from Robbie Anderson's quote, saying that his body language has changed. He's seen a different aura about Sam Darnold. I do believe that. I do believe that he could turn it around. The thing about it, I mean, I honestly believe it's just all on him. It's just all on him. I feel like he has it. He's got the physical ability. I feel like he's got the mental ability to do it. It's just a simple fact, don't try to do too much. Don't try to do too much.
See, I believe it's going to be the opposite route, actually. I think he's going to have more immediate success because, one, it's still a lot of teams in the league that's trying to figure out Joe Brady's offense as a whole. And then you don't know how it's going to look with Sam Darnold in it and that ability to attack down the field that you didn't have with Teddy. Mm-hmm. So I think if anything, it's going to be sort of like how Teddy was last year. Teddy, to me, looked better earlier in the season than he did towards the end. For sure. Just trying to figure it out. And then once, teams start getting film and they start to study. But as far as the whole seeing ghosts thing, it's a lot of quarterbacks that's seeing ghosts against Bill Belichick's trap zone.
That's true.
I think it kind of. I think it kind of went.
The line gonna have to tighten up. That's my only thing with it.
Yeah, if we want to stop him from seeing ghosts, we need some damn Ghostbusters on the offensive line, dude.
Yeah, right.
That Washington game. If we don't, he don't see ghosts against.
But
Chase
I think
Young,
that's even
Allen,
with
Deron,
that.
Payne, Sweat. Shit.
Yeah.
Even with that, I think it's the power of one Joe Brady spreading you out, and our weapons is all speed. So even if the line is bad, you're gonna have to keep up with them track stars. And even when you do that, I mean, we got the best check down in the league. You're confused, Sam Darnold, if you listening, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you ever confused, you seeing ghosts, you don't know what's going on, just check it down in 22.
Hey, that's it. Hey, and either that or Terrace Marshall or DJ Moore is gonna be open across the center. Like, dude, we're gonna have to be a timing and rhythm offense. Like, it's not really gonna be too different, in my opinion, from what they asked Teddy Bridgewater to do. I do hope that they roll Sam outside the pocket more and use his ability to make throws on the run. I hope we see more of that from him. But like I mentioned this earlier, look at that first game of the season. We're at home. Sam Darnold's playing his old team. The guy that they drafted to replace him is going to be on the football field. So it's like, dude, what a better time to show out. Like, that's why I kind of agree with Steve Monday. Like, if we're going to see something with Sam, bro, we might see it sooner than later.
I agree about that, but at the same time, you see what happened to Teddy when he played his old team. It was too much pressure for him. He ended up getting butt tight, and he throws it behind DJ Moore. And
bro, his ass sat on the bench next to Breeze and
right. I was just about to bring.
I don't think that had anything to do with it though, because
I brought that up during the season in the show, and everybody laughed at me. I was like, "This dude is not focused. There's no way that you're on a game-winning drive and you go out of bounds and go sit on the bench and crack jokes with your former coach."
Yeah, like, I mean, what team are you on? Like,
you're not focused. You don't. There's no way you can see this as your team.
Because I don't think he lost the
Minnesota game. With Teddy, he did it while he was losing. It'll be one thing if he was winning. How the fuck you get blown out?
Yes.
Man, don't get me started on.
Tell him, man. Like, it's
this is the same dude. Y'all knew what Teddy was from. This is the same dude who took 2 weeks to change his profile picture when we signed him.
Wow, dude. And it's like Teddy Bridgewater, man. He was a bunch of things, but like, dude, if you want to dap up your friends on your old team, save that shit for after the game is over, man. Like, we're trying to win this shit, and you're trying to ingratiate yourself to a whole new fan base, and it's like, it's such a bad look, dude. I'm just so happy that we've moved on with that part of Carolina Panther football, man.
Especially against a division rival. That makes it even worse.
I hate the Saints too.
Yeah,
bro.
They're my least favorite of the.
Yeah, one of those games, you're the reason why we lost. You took us out of field goal position.
Yeah, you took that sack.
To answer your question, though, Cody.
That's all that was. He just wasn't fucking disciplined.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of pressure on him. But to go back to the Sam Darnold thing, Cody, to answer your question, and it took me a while and it wasn't because anything that had related to football. But I just don't believe in Sam Darnold. I'm very pessimistic on his.
So tell me the why though.
I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, you gave me the Ryan Tannehill thing, but Ryan Tannehill actually had some bright spots in Miami before that. We haven't seen anything from Sam Darnold that showed us that he can be something like that. And Ryan Tannehill, what did it take him 8-9 seasons to rejuvenate his career? He saw a lot of football up before he went to Tennessee. Sam Darnold, he hasn't seen as much football as Tannehill.
But doesn't that work in Sam's favor though? Being 23, like, you know, he's not worn and torn, you know.
Yeah, but like I said, we haven't seen the highs that Tannehill let it. I mean, they went to the playoffs. Miami went to the playoffs a year. He went to the playoffs before he got to Tennessee. You know, I think they got obliterated by Pittsburgh. But I mean, we've seen.
Well, he got them close to the playoffs. Matt Moore got him in the playoffs.
I was gonna say they were hurt. Matt Moore was their starter for that game.
Yeah, he got he got obliterated too. Yeah, he got destroyed. And Tannehill is a lot more of I think the upside on Tannehill. I never liked Tannehill like that. But I mean, this dude played wide receiver in college. So there was still a lot of football that he was still like getting molded. And like, of course, you see it took him that long to turn his career around. But like I said, he played wide receiver in college for a time until he converted to quarterback towards the latter part and then got drafted. So I think comparing the dynamics to Sam Darnold and Ryan Tannehill are a little bit different. I understand it, but what we've seen from him, the decision making, some of the sloppy mechanics when things aren't going right, because we know as Panthers fans, things that can go wrong will go wrong at times. You know, so like, what is he going to do then? I mean, like T Money was saying, and like I was saying earlier, you have the ultimate check down, but there's going to be time and places that we got on to Teddy about. Okay, it's 4th and 11. Don't throw it 3 yards on a drag route. You can't throw it to the check down every down. You know, there's going to be times where he's going to have to push that ball down the field and make some time. I mean, as bad as our defense was at times last year, they still put the ball into our offense's hands 8 times for the final drive to win the game. You know, and we expect them to be better. So those times are going to come up. So what happens in those games? Like I said,
but I mean, that's the difference in CMC and Kamara is you actually can throw it 3 yards on 4th and 11, and they gonna juke 1 or 2 people and get it.
But if he does that and it doesn't happen, y'all gonna cook his ass like the same way y'all did Teddy, you know, throwing short of the sticks. You know,
I don't think part of Sam's problem though is an unwillingness to throw deep. Like that's a Teddy issue.
Yeah, if anything, he has too much of a willingness.
No, I'm just saying from a decision making standpoint. We're saying that you don't make bad decisions, throw it to Christian, but there's some times where you kind of have to push the ball downfield. You can't just throw it to your running back because we may have to leave Christian McCaffrey in the block on certain times because he needs time. If it's 4th and 11, do you want to leak your running back out? Or if the team is bringing a blitz, do you want Christian McCaffrey staying in so you can give time for those other weapons on the outside to get to the sticks and stuff like that? So it's not always just as simple as throw it to Christian McCaffrey or whatever. No, we may need, with our left tackle situation, we may need Christian to stay in. So I'm thinking more of a decision-making standpoint. I know Sam Darnold sling that thing. That's kind of his issue. He kind of is a little bit reckless at times.
But I don't really mind. I know people kill me for that because I didn't mind when Jameis had the 30 interceptions. I don't necessarily mind the interceptions when you're trying to take shots deep. It's just don't have the interceptions in key situations, which is a red zone.
Yeah.
And when you're at 2 minutes, and when you're close to your own end zone, like if we had our own 20, don't throw a pick. Now they automatically in touchdown range, field goal range. But if you're trying to take shots in between the numbers, I don't really mind those interceptions as much.
Yeah, well, especially if you're going to be throwing it downfield at all, like, dude, sometimes I want you to take some chances, like those highlight throws that guys like Cam used to make, and Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. When they throw a ball in a window that's just like unfathomable, you got to have a pair of nuts to be confident enough to throw that football. So I like the gunslinger mentality, but to kind of continue to build on what Aaron was saying, dude, if Sam Darnold doesn't work out and Justin Fields starts to ball for Chicago, like, dude, it's gonna burn like a motherfucker, bro. Like, that's gonna be a tough pill to swallow if both of those things end up being true.
We're pulling up on Main Street. That happened.
I wouldn't be hurt, Cody. I honestly,
Okay.
if Justin Fields turns out to be that guy in Chicago, I feel like we as an organization made a competent decision. I honestly feel that way. And like I said, we're building a team. Like, we're actually building a team. And who's to say? I mean, there's one particular quarterback that I think is going to be out there in 2 years, maybe another year, that we wanted anyway. So if it doesn't work out
for Spencer.
Are you talking about Deshaun?
He's talking about Watson.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
If we're still looking for an answer at quarterback in 2 years, Matt Rhule will not be our head coach. I'll tell you that.
I think he will. I think he will. I seriously think he will.
If Sam have a tough year, I feel like they have to draft one next year. You can't play around with it 3 years in a row.
I don't think they'll draft one. I think they'll go get a veteran quarterback. I really think they'll go get a veteran quarterback, and you will have a case for a veteran quarterback to come to Charlotte. What are you going to tell them? If you're a quarterback and you're looking at our team, boom.
When we saying veteran quarterback, are we talking top echelon? Like
because
let's talk about it directly, okay? How many of you are still okay with Deshaun Watson coming here?
I mean, I love it.
I don't think it's
Deshaun
realistic
will be
anymore.
too scared to. I think he might end up playing in Texas. I don't think he'll leave.
Apparently, the word is that he still wants out of town. He don't care how many people have come out against him. He is trying to get out of Houston, bro.
But they did what they did to take their leverage. Because I still say, I don't know if Deshaun did it or not, but if he wouldn't have requested a trade, we never would have heard of it.
Right.
Probably not.
They definitely would have threw them dollars, so wouldn't nobody holler.
Nah, I agree. I think the truth is somewhere in between. The chances of 28 people telling the truth, low. The chances of 28 people lying, pretty low also.
Yeah.
So it's somewhere in between, in my opinion.
I think it was, come on now, you an IG girl talking about giving him a side. You knew what was up.
I mean, yeah, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter this day and age, to be honest. But I mean, regardless. But I mean, just getting back to the football part of it, is it realistic to try to get Watson? I don't think so. You mean talking about getting a vet quarterback? What is your definition of vet quarterback? Because anybody that's a quality starter doesn't really just pop up like that. You know, if it has to be something dramatic, like a Deshaun Watson situation, where you got to get a chance to trade for a quarterback.
Look at Aaron Rodgers
bringing in Ryan Fitzpatrick or a veteran like that. It would have to be a top 5, top 10 guy who doesn't want to be on his team anymore.
But let's remember how close the Panthers were to signing Mathew Stafford.
That's true.
Like real talk. If the Rams didn't come in and give him the exact deal that he was looking for, then dude, Mathew Stafford was going to be the Carolina Panther. Like they thought that the ink was going to start drying on the deal. So, like, that's who
I'm talking about. I would have been upset if we would have had Mathew Stafford. I'd rather go with Sam Darnold's potential than Mathew Stafford.
I feel that.
The Rams is a lock now and stuff because they have Mathew Stafford. I just don't believe it.
Nah, I don't see it.
I think it's about fit. I think we'll have to get somebody organically, just because I don't think Charlotte is a very attractive place for people. Like, I mean, LA.
Oh, okay.
LA is LA.
Let's stay on that for just a minute. But let's welcome Jimmy Rizzo. Jimmy, what's going on, dude?
Anything's good on in my world, but I like to talk about the real things, what go on in life. I don't like to talk about the trivial things. I think Aaron's a good guy. I think Aaron is a fantastic guy. And by the way there, Mr. Cody, what are you doing hosting a fucking show where you think that you're fucking God? I mean, come on, Cody. I mean, Aaron's a good guy. He knows what he's talking about. And Cody, you seem as if you don't know. But I like to talk about the real things, what go on in life. I don't like to talk about the trivial things. I think Aaron's a good guy. I think Aaron is a fantastic guy. And by the way there, Mr. Cody, what are you doing hosting a fucking show where you think that you're fucking God? I mean, come on, Cody. I mean, Aaron's a good guy. He knows what he's talking about. And Cody, you seem as if you don't know. What the fuck you talking about, son? Really?
Bro, I definitely don't
All
know
right.
what the fuck
I love you,
talking
son.
about, but I'll be up here talking my shit, bro.
Yeah, Cody, listen.
Oh,
Listen,
God.
really. We all live to die at the end of the day. Aaron, I think you should be the host, son.
Hey,
By the way, Cody, let's keep it real. Cody, I reckon you couldn't suck on a cock if you tried.
Get the fuck up out of this room, bro. Who the fuck was that guy? What the fuck was that about?
Man,
I went to his
Jim.
I went to his channel. He's like a producer or something like that.
Bro, who is that asshole? Like, what does he do, man?
I thought you knew him.
Bro, I actually don't know how to suck cock. Never done it one time. if I'm being quite honest with you, bro. Jesus, what were we even talking about, man?
I don't know.
How to derail a conversation?
Gotta reset the fucking vibe.
And by the way, my name is not Cody, motherfucker. It's Cody. Jesus, bro.
He's got the Irish.
Dude, okay, let's go back to Panther football, dude. We were talking about the market. You were talking about Charlotte, bro.
I'm gonna mute my mic. I'm sorry.
Dude, okay, but no, Aaron, you brought this up, though. And I've been saying this. If you have a good football team, bro, it really doesn't matter what market you're in. Like, the Green Bay Packers are notorious for never signing free agent players. But in my mind, that's not because people don't want to go there. Like, if you're a top flight receiver, you're going to tell me you don't want Aaron Rodgers throwing you the football? Yeah, it's cold, but so what? You want to go where you're going to win championships. My question to you all is this. Do players really care about the size of the media market that they're in? I mean, especially in the day of the internet, if you have an endorsement deal, you're still going to get your name and brand out to as many people as possible. True. So I don't understand this like notion of players don't want to come to Charlotte. Well, dude, they will if we have a football team that's a contender.
I think it starts at the top with quarterback or coach or stuff like that. Or I mean, there's other factors like Tampa, obviously Tom Brady, but who doesn't want a chance to win a Super Bowl? Yeah, I'll take a pay cut because one, it's Tom Brady. There's a good chance I'm going to be one of the final teams to play for the championship. For one,
he's going to be in the last four.
Well, yeah, and for two, ain't no damn income taxes in Florida. I can make a bag even if I am taking a pay cut. You know what I'm saying? You know the difference between playing in Texas, Tennessee, or Florida compared to going to California.
Yeah,
and paying 15% on top of the damn 39, 40%, whatever you're paying in Fed taxes. That's a hell of a difference. It just depends. You know what I'm saying? You got to, I mean, and Mathew Stafford, he wanted to be in LA because, I mean, him and what's the name are like, I mean, him and McVay are like this, I guess. But it just doesn't seem like Charlotte is a nice city because I like Charlotte. I mean, I'm born and raised in the South.
I don't think Charlotte is one of those teams I don't think that's one of those cities where nobody wants to go though.
Charlotte's super nice.
It's just not it's not at the top of the list. It's just Charlotte, you know, it's not like, oh dang, I want to go to Miami with South Beach or I want to
it's not a named city like a Cleveland or a, you know, even like a New York or whatever, you know.
Well,
nobody want to go to Cleveland.
Cleveland?
Nobody want to go to Cleveland.
Why the Cavs can't never get nobody?
And dude, like I guess whenever you become a millionaire like that, dude, that state income tax is different. You know, it's like that's straight up. That's big on everybody's mind when you're making that kind of bank. But still, though, like, would you rather make $18 million or $14 million playing for a team that you feel has a legitimate like chance to compete and win? You know, like in my mind, if you're a football player and you don't get that many chances, especially in the NFL, and like really making it all the way. Like, if we have a good football team, I think it helps us to overcome some of that negative imagery that Charlotte might have.
I think
with Federer, our plan is sort of like they did with Russ, is that you want to make your team as good as possible while your quarterback is still cheap. And hopefully think your quarterback just plays well enough to get you a ring during that time. You got to remember the best Seattle teams as far as talent was when Russell was on his rookie contract and all of the defenders was making all the money and Marshawn was making all the money. As the more he's gotten paid, you've seen the talent kind of leave their team defensively. I mean, a lot of people can't really name Seattle's defense. They still don't have no O-line. Really, it's just Russ, Lockett, and Metcalf.
Yeah.
Metcalf is overrated to me. He barely even catches the ball.
And I'll even throw this out here. Charlotte can't be too much of a negative spot because the majority of our players that have played for us, when they retire here. They end up staying here.
Yep. They love it here, man. Greg Olsen stays here. Luke Kuechly stays here.
I mean, it's a good place if you were 30-something, but if you were a freaking 25-year-old millionaire, you don't want to go to Charlotte. I'm going to South Beach. Y'all tripping.
Yeah, hey, LaMelo Ball. I don't think LaMelo Ball's going anywhere.
If you in your 20s, it's enough HBCUs where you can have a good time.
And yeah, honestly, like I'm happy that we don't have that kind of environment. You know, like we don't have to worry about someone coming up here, you know, like it is Miami or Vegas or whatever, where you got a bunch of other extracurricular shit to distract you. You know, it's like it's one of those places where. So look, my next street over is South Mint Street. So I'm in Uptown. Okay, I live in the city. I love this city, man. I call it a big little city, and it's the fastest growing city in the Southeast. So it has that charm and appeal that makes you want to raise a family here. And yeah, that might not be as appealing as, you know, a bunch of honeys and thongs on South Beach and shit. But you know what I'm saying? Like if you're about business and
in the Carolinas, you can get whatever you want to. If you want to be in the mountains in the Carolinas, you can be in the mountains. If you want to be on the beach in the Carolinas, you can be in the beach.
Yeah.
Whatever you kind of want to do, you can be at in between North and South Carolina.
100%.
Yeah, in Charlotte, you're only like 3 hours away from any of it. You know, you
from
can
everything, dude.
Yeah, you can get to like Carolina or Myrtle Beach in like 3 or 4 hours. You can get to the mountains like Asheville or Boone or whatever in a couple hours.
Atlanta
too.
3 hours.
You're a country boy. You want to go fishing? You can find somewhere to fish.
Go to Lake Norman. Yeah.
Yeah,
even like Tennessee.
It sounds all well and good to y'all because we're in a whole different tax bracket in lifestyle.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Think about it.
You're right though.
Cam Newton did not spend his didn't spend his summers and off season in Charlotte. Josh Norman did not spend his summers and stuff in Charlotte. We see Christian McCaffrey in Colorado and in LA during the off season. Like these are like, don't be fooled. Like I said, it's good if you're 30-something with kids and settling down and it's slow pay. Nah. If I am a 25, 26, 27-year-old millionaire, I know like Charlotte is not one of the top cities I want to be at. And I get it. We think everybody wants to win the ring, but you can look at the NBA. I mean, granted, it's different sports, but it's shown like Ben Simmons. They say there's guys that fall in love with the celebrity, the thought of actually just being in the NFL and the stuff that it brings. They don't really love the game and the grind. And it's so hard to win a Super Bowl anyway. Some people are just like, if it comes, it comes. But I came from nothing. I came from the mud. I was a lot of people's meal ticket. So I'm going to live this life how I want to live when I get this money. And I want to get the most amount of money. And if the Super Bowl comes, it comes. But I'm worried about getting me. And I'm worried about getting my bag. You know, so everybody doesn't really have the same motivation as far as winning the Super Bowl because it's super hard. You know what I'm saying? It's super hard. And there's only so much you can control versus like an NBA where you can pick your poison and move around different spots, and you can be the one person that turns a whole team around. You know, NFL is so many other factors. So I think a lot of guys' motivation may not be the same. So Charlotte may not be as attractive as you guys may think because, I mean, we're from, like I said, a lot of us are in the South. We know what it is. We're in a different tax bracket compared to some.
I mean, Cam couldn't stay here because he had to babysit Kelvin all season to make sure he didn't eat himself to death.
even before that though, like even whatever. I mean, Cam always came back to Atlanta during his off seasons and stuff like that.
Well, bro, he's Atlanta in his blood. Every time you hear that man talk.
But even Josh Norman is born in he stayed in Atlanta. He wasn't even from Atlanta. He's from South Carolina.
Yeah,
and he kept his place in North Carolina. But he was out of there. You know, Christian's the same way. I mean, it's a lot of guys that do that.
Christian's everywhere that somebody willing to train with him at, dog.
or he with his girlfriend out in L.A.
Yeah.
One of them. I mean, look, you're right though. The tax bracket that you're in matters more, you know. And again, Lord knows I ain't making the kind of money where I gotta
think about that. Where are taxes, and you know what I'm saying? Where are you living at, and how much tax is gonna come out of my check? Because that come out of every game check. You got to pay taxes out of that.
Yep.
Yeah. But man, I just still think that if we had, like, if this defense turns it on and just starts wrecking shit, like I kind of predict that we're going to, bro, I'm like, no tax bracket is going to stop me from coming here. If, you know, especially if I think it's a good team that has a chance to win, you know. But I just wanted to talk about that because I hear a lot of people mention that, like, Charlotte in and of itself, or our area, is one of the reasons why we're never big in free agency. And it's like, yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm sure that matters to some people, but I don't know. I just don't think it would be too much of a big deal.
I think there's different selling points.
This is what I'll ask, though, because everybody's always concerned about our money issues and where we're going to get money and how we're going to pay for this. How does everybody think we was going to trade for Deshaun?
Well, we would have had to give up a ton. We would have had to give up players and draft picks.
Rob, no. The answer to that is no.
Oh, you think we don't sign Moton?
You think it gets done before?
I think Ramchick might have got Moton out of here.
He might have fucked it up for everybody. Damn. So,
because Moton's already what, top 4, top 5 per year for right tackles this year.
Yeah, because the franchise tag.
Those 5 years, 90, 96 million is.
That's just so infuriating, though, man. Because T, you were asking earlier, like, what offensive linemen have we developed and like turned into a good player?
Taylor Moton.
Like, okay, the 3 guys that we named, Andrew Norwell, Trey Turner, and now Taylor Moton, we're gonna build them up and just let them fucking walk out the door. Like, that's what we do.
He's the only one that got a second contract so far.
This is the way.
That's true.
Bro.
This is the way.
That shit is infuriating, man.
This
But
is
I
the way.
don't get that. I don't get how if you're Matt or if you're Scott Fitterer, like, how is that not one of your main priorities? Like, that's my only criticism of what I think was an incredible job by Scott Fitterer. I think Scott Fitterer did a good job. And hey, maybe we're still trying to sign him right now. Which, and if that's true, T Money's right. Ramchick, he fucked it up for everyone getting paid that contract. But if he intends to play on the franchise tag, I kind of agree with Sideshow Rob, man. We might be letting Taylor walk out the door, and I hate that.
Yeah,
I think they get it done. I think they get it. It'll be a 11th hour type of thing or whatever you call it. But I think they'll get it done. It'll probably be on the 15th, but I think they'll get it done.
I mean,
the Ramchick deal is why I never talk about the Saints salary cap. When everybody starts in the offseason, they had the Saints are 40, 50, 60 million. Because they still, I don't know. I don't even hate Sean Payton. I don't hate Drew Brees. I hate whoever their salary cap dude is. Because he just be doing the damn thing. They sign who they want, re-sign who they want, pick up who they want.
Hey, the salary
they start off $60 million over the cap.
The salary cap is a myth. Tell me I'm wrong.
It feels like it.
Yeah, the Eagles are like that too. They got that funny money up there too. They do the same thing. It's like you're in salary cap hell every year, but you giving Kamara the bag, you giving Thomas the bag. Cam Jordan got a bag a couple years ago. Drew Brees was, I mean, granted, Drew Brees gave them a little bit of breathing room, but they still got to pay Marshawn Lattimore next year. You know what I'm saying? Lattimore and Williams next year. And then they just signed Ramchick, and like it's really wild, man. Like the salary cap gymnastics that they pull, I don't know. It's beyond me.
But then Marshawn might have hurt his contract negotiations by getting arrested.
Nah, I don't think so. I think it put a halt to it, but they restructured his deal.
You don't think Marshawn was thinking he was probably going to get highest cornerback money?
Well, that's
at one
probably
point,
what.
yeah, but not right now.
I wouldn't give it to him. He's too grabby for me.
He's very, man. I'm
That's
glad
what I'm
you said
saying.
that. He
You
definitely.
getting arrested in the offseason and probably gonna end up getting suspended. I mean, you hurt yourself in the negotiation.
Yeah, but when he restructured it recently to help give them space to sign their draft picks, and I think that lets me know that the dialogue is there. One and two, he's looking out for the team, so I think they're going to kind of scratch his back too later when the time comes. I'm not a fan of Lattimore at all. I think he's overrated. I think he's too grabby. I think he just gets away what he can get away with. Like the refs hate to call PI that as much as he in legal contact, but they call it a lot on him, man. And like I said, somebody said JC is grabby in college too. Yeah, that's correct. And that's my only concern with JC. Like there's a difference between being physical and being a little too grabby. Now get away what you can get away with because receivers push off too and get away with it too. So I mean, do what you can do. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like how college coaches teach corners anyway.
Yeah.
Does it not seem like they teach all of them to play the receiver and not the ball?
Yeah. Because
I noticed that a lot.
Face guarding is not as they don't call it as much in college as they do in the pros, I think. So that's kind of why. And they tell them to play the hands. They don't tell them to look back like that. They tell them to play the hands.
Yeah, I anytime I watch, especially because I watch more corner tape this year, and I don't know why they teach them that, because that's not preparing them for the next level. I mean, I understand you want to win at the level you're at, but shouldn't that also be part of preparing your guys are going to the league?
Yeah.
Hey, say what you want about Dabo Swinney and my Clemson Tigers, man, but he puts his DBs in boxing gloves, and he'll make them go out there so they can't grab shit. And like I always thought that was a real cool idea because it teaches you how to be physical and use your hands, but you can't grab them. So I always thought that was a good idea. I think technique can help. Like in college, like a lot of those positions, especially now, NFL coaches know that these players, they're not coming in finished products. Mm-hmm. Like that's why it's so important that your coaches have to be teachers. Like, even though it's not college anymore, like they're still having to refine these young men into top-tier football players. And you have to be able to convey information about technique and position, all this other stuff. And that's where I'm hopeful about Matt Rhule and Joe Brady and even Phil Snow, because that seems to be the kind of coaches that they are. That, if you look back at Temple and at Baylor, their teams got better and better and better because they helped them build upon all the progress that they had made previously. So, I'm liking that about our coaching staff.
Yeah, development is everything, especially offensive line wise.
Our team,
y'all want to run through the schedule?
Our team wasn't bad last year. I honestly, I wouldn't call our team bad last year. I think we just had holes that needed to be filled. Like I could see every game that we played. Like, okay, well, we need this in this position. This position is fine. This position need to be upgraded. I felt like I could see that the whole year. I could see the consistencies on both sides of the ball, and I could see the inconsistencies also.
I wouldn't even go that far because I don't think we had any major holes. I think it was just like you have to go through with young teams is you have to learn how to win, and we were really bad in the clutch.
Well, we were missing. I think we were when you're missing your star running back, and you haven't had any time to gel in the offseason as a team, and you got these young players. I took all that into account, looking at the way we played last year. That's why I say I'm looking for a major upswing this year. Major upswing this year, as far as how their team plays.
Yeah, and look, how many games did we lose by a field goal? How many games we lost by a field goal? Hey, we had the Chiefs on the ropes. We had so many different teams on the ropes, and I feel like in all those games, Teddy Bridgewater had the ball at the end of the game with a chance to do something and didn't do
I
shit.
made a video about that, and I went down every loss. And Teddy can make all the comments and questions he wants. I just need to know how you only have one fourth quarter touchdown pass all year.
So that says to me okay, even if we're a marginally better football team, what difference does that make in our win total? Like, knowing how many games we were in it so close up until the very end, just to shit the bed at the end of the fourth quarter. It's like, if we're marginally better, bro, we might have, what, 3 or 4 extra wins? And that's being conservative, right? Like, this team isn't far away, in my opinion.
We went through the same thing. We went through the same thing with Cam, remember? I think it was the 2014 season that we lost a lot of games by a lot of.
Oh, yeah. It was 2014 and 2016.
And then we went into, like, at the end of the year, we went on a little win streak that continued into 2015.
Yep, Cam started the ball at the end of that season. The defense turned it on. And remember, Ron Rivera, at the end of 2014, he was playing for his job a little bit too, right? I mean,
even before, like, okay, so we went 12-4 in 2013. In 2012 and 2011, they would go on them little win streaks at the end of the year, and then they would end up. That's how they would end up being 6-10, 7-9, because they win. Like, I know for a while, early in their careers, I think Cam and Ron Rivera had like the second best December record besides Brady and Belichick.
Yeah, Ron was like one of the best December coaches in the league just because of his record.
Yeah, I remember that. And he won the Coach of the Year 2 times.
Right. So yeah, I feel like we could be in that same position. It just matters when it clicks. And I'm kind of calling around game 5. I'm kind of calling around that time. I'm pretty sure the defense will click before the offense. I'm pretty much guaranteeing the defense will click before the offense.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
When that offense clicks in, I'll give it somewhere between probably week 4, week 6, somewhere around in there, where they get into a groove. And if we can start to like winning games at the end, then that's very significant. When you have a team that knows how to win, that's very significant.
Well, even looking at our schedule, if you look at it, I think we're gonna be really successful early. I think when I looked at our schedule, I could see us starting off maybe 5-1, 4-2, which is gonna get the fan base back excited and back on that Panther. You know, the bandwagon fans gonna come back. Sort of like when Kyle Allen had his couple of good games. But it gets a little bit harder after that. But I think I feel like I said earlier, I think we're going to start off fast, offensive, defensively, and wins.
So you said 5-1, 4-2. So I'm guessing you saying Jets, Texans, Eagles, Cowboys is the wins.
Well, one of you mentioned it earlier. Let's we can kind of go through these if you want. The first 5, you mentioned 5 games. Our first 5 are the Jets, the Saints, the Texans, the Cowboys, and the Eagles. And most of those
we don't beat the Eagles.
3 of those are home games too. So like, we have no idea what the Jets are going to be. We kind of assume that they're going to be a middle tier team. But then New Orleans, we know they got the defense, so that's going to be a test. The Texans, everyone's saying that they might have the first pick this year.
That's because they turn over their roster so much. Anybody that gives you a prediction on the Texans is lying. I'm just going to be real with you. They had so much roster turnover. Nobody knows exactly what they're going to look like. So I don't know about that.
And even their quarterback is going to be Tyrod or Davis Mills.
Tyrod Taylor or Davis Mills, yeah. But that's the thing. They had so much roster turnaround, but not many people are predicting that they're going to be a better football team than us or, anyone else even in their division. So it's like, it's easy to look at that and say, okay, that should be a W for us.
Yeah, we're traveling on a short week, though. The numbers are traveling on a short week.
Yeah, man, that's that weird-ass primetime game.
we suck in prime time. So
I know, man.
it's like I said, traveling to Texas on a short week. I don't know if we just go straight from New Orleans to Houston on that, because that's a 6-hour drive, and so it's probably 45-minute flight at the worst. So like I said, we may just stay.
That's only 4 days later, man.
Yeah.
We play the Saints on the 19th, and we play.
But even playing the Saints that early in the year, I don't know if they'll have 100% trust in Jameis that early. And I mean, I don't think they know who their number 2 corner is at this point. Janoris Jenkins left. And then who knows how long Marshawn will get suspended for?
True. Good point.
He will start.
Did they already say Jameson? I thought they said Jameson wasn't the starting quarterback.
I don't think they've made the decision yet, right?
I don't think they made the decision, but I think you would have to go Jameis.
Yeah.
Well, who they pay the most money to?
Well, we know Taysom's contract is avoidable every year.
Every single year is avoidable.
You gave him a fake $100 million contract.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's why the salary cap is fake, bro. That shit isn't real. Like every single team that's like, oh, but they're in the red, negative $60 million. And then we had Bob Rose, the Saints guy, on our podcast a few weeks ago, and he's like, no, they've got a few million to spend now. It's like, how the hell did you
under the cap now?
I don't understand that shit, dude.
With Ramczyk signing that big of a deal, he actually brought down his cap number for this year, though.
Because I guess it's a fifth-year option, fully guaranteed.
I think so.
Okay, that's probably why. That's probably why.
Yeah, so like all DJ, all his money is guaranteed this year. But are the Saints gonna sign Marshawn or let him go? Because I think they're probably not, though. Or not sign him. Suspend him. Or is it official that they're gonna suspend him?
I mean,
I would think he would have to.
It's a gun charge.
Well, dude, then hey, man, if we're playing the Saints and there's no Marshawn Lattimore and we're at home, like, dude, and
who's their second corner? I mean, is Paulson Adebo going to have to be a first-year starter?
Who?
Paulson, the corner that came out of Stanford. They took him later on in the draft.
Oh, yeah. They got P.J. Williams, too. He's trash. He usually plays the nickel.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, with no Marshawn there, I mean, who do they have at corner?
Let's look it up. Patrick Robinson.
P.J. Williams, Patrick Robinson. I think so.
Patrick Robinson, left and came back?
So how about this, though?
Yeah, I think so.
It's not outlandish to think that the Panthers start 3-0. The Jets, the Saints, without Marshawn Lattimore potentially, and a bum Texans team. It's like that could be the kind of, if we start out 3-0, dude, the momentum is on our side, man.
Yeah. I mean, the first half of the schedule is pretty favorable, honestly.
That's what I said. I think record-wise, we're going to start fast. It's the second half of the year that kind of is I'm a little bit more shaky about.
Them last 4 games are brutal.
Bro, the schedule goes from cupcake, in my opinion, to tough as hell at around week 9.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because after 9, so, okay, I mean, really week 8, because we have Atlanta on the road, and, I mean, who knows what they're going to be, but then we have the Patriots, the Cardinals.
The Patriots is going to be so emotionally, not even just about their team. It's going to be such an emotional week. I probably won't be on social media that week because I already know how our fan base can be.
Bro, I feel the same way, man. Like, that's going to be weird for me too, man.
Don't sleep on the Giants either.
Why? Why'd you say that?
Their defense is going to be elite.
I really called the Giants to take the NFC East last year if they didn't have those injuries. I really picked them to take the East last year.
Dude,
the only thing that scares me about them is that Saquon missed all of last year and he's still rehabbing.
Nah, he's doing drills and everything. I mean, he's gonna keep rehabbing, but he'll be good. it's just about Daniel Jones. But like I said, their defense is going to be scary good. Like,
but offensively, I like their weapons.
I mean, they're okay.
Now Slayton,
Shepard.
They added John Ross.
Still Ingram, but
Tony.
And like I said, their defense, man, made some strides last year. I hate to say it, but Bradbury, and then they got Adoree. Their defense.
I wanted Adoree Jackson.
Yeah, we all did. But we ended up with J.C. Horn, so it's not the end of the world. But
truth,
don't sleep on them. The Cardinals, they got some talent, obviously, so they're going to be. And then the football team is they're a playoff team, so they're going to be on the schedule too. So I mean, it's
and then that last four.
Yeah, at Buffalo, then Tampa, at New Orleans.
Against Buffalo, that's gut check time because that's in December. And it's on the road, so you know it's going to be cold as hell up there. There's probably going to be a sideways snow. Like, that's when we're going to find out who this team is. Like, the Bills, they're one of the teams people are predicting to win the AFC, man.
Yeah.
So, it's a weird schedule, man, but especially at the very end. Like, we're going to know at the end if we're a legitimate football team or not.
The
only thing with that is maybe Tampa will be doing so good that they won't be playing their starters or something.
I doubt it. We thought that last year.
Yeah. I kind of don't think so, man. Although maybe. I mean, it depends on what they're looking like at that point in time. Dude, to me, my philosophy is that after about the 6th or 7th game of the season, that's when you start to separate the really good football teams from the pretenders. Because I feel like every year at the start of the season, there's some team that goes like 6-0 and then falls off a cliff.
Pittsburgh.
That was the Bears last year.
Pittsburgh, the Bears, the Falcons did it in 2016, the Vikings in 2017. Like, there's always like a one pretender football team early in the year.
That could be us, honestly.
Part of making the playoffs is those easy games. You have to get those W's.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to get if we want to make the playoffs next year, we have to get those W's at the beginning of the season because you're going to be in a dogfight at the end of the season.
Yeah, but like I said, what Cody was saying, like I said, that could easily be us. I mean, how light our schedule is in the front end, that could easily be us. You know, I don't know.
And then
which the Kyle Allen year I would count as one of those years.
Yeah,
but then it's also like weeks 4 through 6. It's Dallas, Philly, and Minnesota, and it's like either of those, like any of those teams, like I have no idea if they're going to be good this year or not.
Yeah,
like who knows with the NFC East, and then Minnesota, they're going to have a bunch of turnaround, but who knows if, Kirk Cousins is actually worth the shit. I'm still not a Kirk Cousins believer. I don't know, man. It's just a lot.
Kellen Moore might get a chance this year.
Huh?
You think Kellen Moore might get a chance this year?
Too much money going to Kirk.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, stranger things have happened. Watch Kirk Cousins get hurt with 2 or 3 or something, and then Kellen Mond comes in and just starts torching shit.
I don't think the Eagles are going to be good. And as much as everybody knows I'm a supporter of black quarterbacks, I don't feel like Jalen Hurts earned the right to get handed the keys to that franchise.
What else you want him to do?
You went 1-3. Win.
Yeah, but they got a bunch of draft picks, though. They're thinking, whatever. If he don't turn it around, they got like 1 or 2 number 1 picks next year.
Carson might
they need a new quarterback.
Yeah.
Out in Indianapolis, I like what they got going on over there. Carson might be comeback player of the year.
Oh, how about that? We're playing the Colts and the Ravens in practice. And I think those are 2 fantastic teams for us to practice against.
Yo, the Colts line is scary. Their offensive line is scary.
Yeah, that's why I love it for our defense, man.
And Baltimore gonna test your run defense if they gonna test anything.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
What I will say is, from the last time we did joint practices, if it is raining, do not have practice.
We got
we've got that. Yeah, we got the indoor now.
The bubble.
Yeah.
Y'all remember last time we had a practice and it was raining and it was joint practice, right?
What happened?
No, what happened?
Was that the Benjamin one?
Kelvin tore his ACL against joint practice.
Hey, that was a blessing in disguise.
The Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Let it rain.
We made the Super Bowl, yeah.
Let it rain, man.
But that's going to be terrible, though, because if anything like that happens to one of our receivers, we're going to be like, well, we've been through this before. And I was like, hey, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I hope not, man. I hope he stay healthy.
Yeah.
We're going to Indianapolis. So I think I have this right. We're going to Indianapolis, and the Ravens are coming here.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so do the Colts have an indoor
Just say we
facility?
drafted a running back.
They probably do.
They got to.
I think every team does except for the Bengals.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
The
so random.
Bengals, yeah, they don't.
I know the Bengals are notoriously cheap. I know they don't have one.
That's so random for them not to have one. Of all
Yeah.
people.
I don't
Their
know.
owner's apparently super cheap and just
Yeah,
doesn't
their
want to
owner
do it.
don't spend. That used to be us, bro. It used to be us and the Bengals were like the only two teams that didn't have shit for practice facilities.
Well, Tepper throws all of his money around now, so you don't got to worry about that.
Yeah, except at a new stadium. He wants to
You can
the
throw
taxpayers
some
to
my
pay for
way.
it.
That's true.
Bro, you think we're gonna go through a whole like that's the thing. Now that Los Angeles and Las Vegas are off the map, like NFL, like where's an NFL team gonna threaten to go if the city doesn't want to pay? You know what I mean? Like, I mean maybe, but like
I
David
heard Chicago
Tepper,
was trying to move.
London.
London.
bro, they can't make London work like that.
I think
Or
it's a little.
Mexico.
Jacksonville going.
You could do. You could do
There's
Toronto,
no-
maybe.
Yeah, maybe
Ooh.
Toronto. Yeah,
Do it Canada.
but they were saying the Bills were gonna move to Toronto.
Not anymore.
Yeah, definitely not no more.
Not while you winning.
San Antonio is a big enough city.
That's
Yeah,
true.
but is that going to be enough to
Not
save
enough
a
team.
football team though? Like a third football team in that state?
I mean, shit, they do it in basketball.
Yeah.
I guess Florida got the Dolphins, the Bucks, and the
Moved to
Jaguars.
Orlando.
God, Orlando.
Oh,
Do y'all think this stadium thing is going to be an issue for us at some point?
I don't
Like,
think so.
Are we going to have to go through this shit, or is Charlotte going to just give David Tepper whatever the hell he wants?
I
It's
think they'll suck it up
unnecessary.
and pay for it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't like the situation overall, but it just feel like it's unnecessary
I mean, we
drama.
know what he was doing from the rip. He trying to give BOA to the soccer team and get a new stadium for the football team.
Yeah. I think it's
Can
unnecessary.
somebody
but
explain exactly what happened with the stadium?
Nothing.
No,
He
so
just
David,
don't- he just don't like
Saying
it.
he want a new one, but he don't want to pay for it himself.
but
He
yeah,
wants to
and-
close it, yeah.
But none of the NFL owners do. But he put out an interview, or someone interviewed him, and he was like, "Oh, especially after COVID, it has to be an open air stadium, but not a dome," which makes no sense in the world to me. Like,
Yeah. You're never gonna get a Super Bowl unless you close it. And
No,
that's the only way you're gonna recoup a
100%.
$1 billion stadium.
They
Yeah,
need to do one of the
100%.
retractable ones.
well, that's probably what they're going to do. But
I
then
feel like it has to.
I also heard that professional soccer, you're not allowed to play under an open roof. I don't know why. I don't know how, but apparently that's the deal. So wherever the Panthers play, that's where the soccer team is going to play also. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know, man. I just don't. I don't want a scenario where David Tepper is like trying to extort the city for $1 billion, or else fucking I'm out. You know,
He can do whatever he want as long as he don't move the team.
that's the truth.
I don't care who you gotta argue with, whose
Yeah.
pocket you gotta go with. Just don't move the team.
Well, changing gears, are y'all planning on going to any of the training camp practices? I mean, Cody, you're right there. So I mean, I assume you're going, but
no, I think I'm probably
Wofford is not right there. Wofford's in South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm tripping. Still not far.
Yeah, it's not far. I'm probably gonna wait until they open up the new facilities and shit.
Because the practices are in the morning, but it'd be hot in Spartanburg.
Oh, I know, man. And let me tell you, it's not gonna be any different. Where they're going now, it's still gonna be hot as hell. But
I thought the practice was in the morning.
Sometimes they are,
but even still, man,
it's at 11.
Oh, I thought I saw something saying like 8:30.
Nah, they practice is at 11.
Oh no!
Well, even still, sometimes it could be 80-something degrees at 8 in the morning. It's like
in South
Watford is muggy, and they don't have no shade. They don't have no seating or nothing. You got to bring your chairs out there and stuff.
Cut the.
And you're not gonna even be able to get autographs and stuff.
Yeah, that's cookage.
So, Aaron, you're going?
I'll be at FanFest at the worst, but I'll probably try to go to another one.
Hey, where'd you get the tickets? I was looking to try to get tickets to that.
FanFest?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten them yet.
I heard they were on sale on the website, but I couldn't find them.
Oh, really?
And they jip us for money for that every year.
They said they were going back to $5.
They always like $5 or $10, but it's the point of you got us paying for practice.
It fucking rained when I went last time, bro.
Is that the 2019 one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there too. It sucked.
Yeah.
I was so pissed. I got me a Panthers poncho though, so I got that in the arsenal.
I did too.
But tailgate, because I was tailgating with the Roaring Riot. It just sucked. I was like, fuck. We like huddled up under the damn shed.
The fireworks show that they put on at the end is always
that was
cool,
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Like I said, like I don't have to go nowhere to hear the fireworks and see them. Like I'm down the street.
Yeah.
Like whenever the planes fly over, dude, my whole house shakes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's. I hope the Panthers, no matter what, I hope the new stadium, if and when that comes, which we know it's if, it's not, or it's a when, not if.
Yeah.
But I still want it to be in Charlotte. Because, like, if you live up here, bro, like, that city is a part of the skyline. That's a part of the geography, man. It's like, when you come to Charlotte, like, and knowing you're going to have the city in the background when they play, like, I just love it, man. I hope
it's different for sure.
Some people wanted to move it to, like, parts of South Carolina. And I'm like, oh, man, it needs to stay in Charlotte, man.
The downside is the team is called the Carolina Panthers, so it can literally be anywhere.
I know.
Rock Hill, though.
Yeah. I mean, the teams do that all the time, too, though, because, like, I'm not here in Georgia.
Detroit Pistons don't play in Detroit.
Yeah, the Braves, they moved to freaking Cobb County, which is Smyrna, Georgia. They're not even in Atlanta anymore at all. So it's like, what the fuck? So like, teams do that shit all the time. So,
or like the Niners ain't Levi's not in San Francisco, is it?
No, that's in Santa Clara.
Yeah.
Yep, Santa Clara.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's I don't know.
And then, like, people were saying that, like, move it to the Speedway or, like, near the Speedway where Charlotte Motor Speedway is.
Oh, so that's where it's Concord?
Yeah, but, dude, there's, like, one, like, highway, like, freeway going in and out. You're gonna have lines and lines of traffic every single time you have a game. Like, it's just dumb. I hope it stays in Charlotte.
I know some people wanted it done towards Carowinds, like over that way.
Yeah. I heard about that too.
Now another question is, did anybody sell their soul for them Panther Patriots tickets?
Not yet.
I thought about it.
If Cam is not starting by then, I'm gonna be pissed the fuck off. I'm not paying that bread to go see Mac fucking Jones. I don't give a damn. I'm not going to see that shit. It's too many. All these tickets are high, man. That's the thing. All these tickets are high. The prices really changed a lot of my plans. I wanted to go to a few games, but it's gonna have to.
I always at least try to go to the closest game to my birthday.
Oh, okay. Which one is that one this year?
I didn't look actually. Let me see.
When's your birthday? I'll tell you.
October 27th.
October 27th. So on the 24th, you have the Giants.
Well, that's away.
They're both away, man. They're not going to be.
No, the next home game I think is the Patriots.
Yeah.
Minnesota
or
Patriots.
before you
Look like you're selling your soul, my boy.
yeah, bro.
And shout out to my boy Kendall Francis. He's trying to come to Carolina for his first home game. He lives out in San Diego, but he bought tickets for that Panthers Patriots game.
Damn.
So since he's coming all the way from San Diego, I might have to sell my soul or something.
I don't have tickets yet, but I'm gonna be in that fucking stadium, bro. I'm gonna be in that stadium because I didn't get a chance to like really see Cam Newton play when he was here like that, like not in the stadium. So it's like, dude, even if it's for the Patriots, bro, I gotta go see Cam play. Of course, I'm cheering for the Panthers to win, but yeah, man, I gotta go see Cam play. Is there any?
He's gonna be out for blood that game.
Oh yeah,
right. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, dude. What we're hoping Sam does to the Jets, that's what Cam's going to try to do to us. So,
for sure.
If he has a bad year next year, he's going to try to hold on to that starting spot at least till that game.
Blood and guts, man. Blood and guts.
You know, it'd be sad is if they benched Cam during that game. That'd be heartbreaking.
God. Especially for an Alabama player, and he went to Auburn. Bro.
That's what I say for all the Cam lovers is that, yeah, you can dog Teddy, but it's not like Cam had the greatest year either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of things for them. I mean, he wasn't accurate down the stretch, but then also they didn't have the weapons. How about this? Does anyone think that Cam finishes or starts and finishes the season? Or is Matt Jones at some point playing?
I think Matt's going to play at some
start
point.
and finish because I think the Patriots will be either in the playoffs or competitive for a playoff spot all year.
Yo, Bill Belichick really likes Cam Newton. Like, for real.
Them fans don't.
No, they damn sure don't.
They be wanting to scratch their eyes out every time.
Okay, well, it is rumored that, Boston and New England fans are racist.
Oh, dude, it's like they say it's worse in the South.
It's not a rumor.
Yeah, they say it's like worse in the South.
That's facts. What you mean? That's not a rumor. That's facts.
Dude. But football, baseball, like their whole all those fan bases got that tag on them. Yeah, I don't understand that shit.
It ain't no rumor, homie. I'll tell you that. That sounds like big facts to me. I mean,
because we had the Ford F-150 crowd.
Well, yeah, but we the South. We the South. It is what it is.
Oh yeah, that's what I call them, the Ford F-150 crowd.
I mean, everybody says that, but the Patriots are just a different type of beast when it comes to the disrespect and the racism, I guess.
Also, man, all their fans feel like they're one of the best teams. Like, it don't matter if it's the Celtics, the Red Sox, or the Patriots. Like, they have that air of superiority that it's like, hey, bro, our teams are fucking way better than yours. If you ain't with this culture, you ain't with us. I've never liked any Boston team, bro.
I mean, they have the pedigree, though. Just think about it. If you're a millennial or a Gen Xer,
that's why it's
between the Bruins, the Red Sox, the Celtics, even with the big three they got that one ring, and the Patriots, they have been so spoiled by success. Like, I knew they were gonna be freaking scratching their eyes out as soon as Tom Brady left, and they had to face realities of what every other team in the NFL has to go through.
And half of them just went to Tampa or became two teamers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But because, like I said, they haven't seen. Like, think about it. If you were born in 2000 or any time in the late 90s, Tom Brady's been in the league, 20-something years?
Yeah, that's all you've ever known. You've never known a time other than Tom Brady.
You don't have down years.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Even when Tom Brady was hurt and they had Matt Castle, they still had
They went 10-6, 11.
Double-digit wins. They don't know it. They don't know what it is. So, like, they're spoiled as hell, and they're annoying, man. Like,
shout out to my brother.
Like somebody owed them something.
My brother is the ultimate bandwagon fan. Basketball, he's wherever LeBron is. Football, he's a Patriots fan. College basketball, he's a Duke fan. College football, because of Tebow in that era, he's a Florida fan. So yeah, bandwagon.
Well, I thought you was about to say Bama. Like, bro, if you said Bama, that's the bandwagon fan.
The Holy Grail.
Yeah, the Holy Grail,
Trinity.
bro. Yeah, every single team, bro.
You know,
play
for the
there
young
now.
ones though, that Tebow time in Florida, especially like if you was playing like college football video games and stuff, you was becoming a Florida fan at that time.
Bro, I'm low key excited to see what the Jaguars do. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Hey, man, look, just like I was excited to see what Deshaun would do for the Texans, bro. Of course, I'm pumped to see what Trevor's gonna do.
I think they're gonna end up putting that girl out there that looks just like him.
Bro. Hey, man, y'all can make all the girl jokes you want, dude. Trevor Lawrence is legit, man.
Trevor Lawrence has only lost one regular season game throughout whole college career. One.
His
I
third
lost
game as a college player was against my Tar Heels, though, so I couldn't.
No, let me correct you. Trevor Lawrence has never lost a regular season game at Clemson.
Oh,
Every
yeah,
time
because he was out that Notre Dame game. I forgot.
Yeah, he was out Notre Dame, and the only time he lost was to Ohio State and LSU in the national championship. So
Doesn't that record go back to like high school too? Like
It does.
Yeah.
Too?
Yeah,
It does.
bro, he's lost 3 games total since the start of high school, all the
That's
way through
insane.
college.
Wow.
What I will say is the worst Trevor Lawrence game I seen was against my Tar Heels.
That's a fact. That game was super close.
But tell me that he didn't win it at the end, though.
Yeah, he
I
did.
mean,
At the very end, bro, he did what he needed to do, man, and
That's
that's what
damn
you
close.
want. That's what you want, man. Even if you don't have a 300-yard passing game, man, if you do enough to win, that's some franchise quarterback shit. So,
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Let me get up off here, fellas,
What do
man. I
y'all
gotta
think
go.
about that
no,
12
you're right
bracket
on.
playoff?
Hey, bro, you're right on time, dude. It's 10 o'clock. I was about to say, bro, we've been going for 3 hours, man. Hey, real talk. I appreciate every single one of you coming on here and hanging out with me, bro. Like, this was impromptu. I didn't plan on doing a stream today, but I'm going to try and make this an every Friday thing, man. For everyone listening, if y'all want to come in, like, this is y'all's show. If y'all want to come in, talk about Panthers, whatever you want to do, that's what the purpose of this Friday show is going to be. So I appreciate y'all coming on, man. Y'all want to plug your Twitters and YouTube and stuff?
Yeah, man. Dunk on Demand on Twitter, and Unnecessary Bluntness Sports Talk on YouTube. You know, so follow me, holla at your boy. I'm a Hawks fan for basketball, so if you don't like Atlanta sports, you're gonna get them. I gotta get my tweets off. At least until I get in the football season mode. At least, you know what I'm saying. Once the season is over, I'm flipping the switch. But yeah.
I mean, he's a fan of the Hawks, the Gamecocks, just a bunch of loser ass bird fans.
I knew you had something to say. I knew you weren't gonna let me off.
Just a bunch of loser ass bird fans.
At least he's not a Falcons fan.
Yeah, hey, true that. At least he's not a Falcons fan.
I didn't really get into the NBA till probably about a couple of years ago. I mean, I watched it, but I didn't really start going to games and stuff until recently.
I'm still trying, bro. When the Hornets like really become a team,
yeah,
that's my time.
I might go see LaMelo though. Yeah, LaMelo's a star enough where I might go see some Hornets games.
It's a lot more fun to get behind a star. I'll tell you that.
T-Money, plug this stuff, bro.
On Twitter and YouTube, Mr. T-Money 1993. Also, if you enjoy looking at college football or watching college football video games, I've been streaming a lot of NCAA on Twitch, Mr. T-Money 1993, and they're trying to convince me to do it. But if anybody ever watched Kendall Francis or CPG on YouTube, they're trying to convince me to do a podcast with the three of us. But I'm in school. I'm back in school, so I'm kind of weighing that out right now.
Well, hey, man, whatever you decide to do, let me know. You know, I'll shout out your stuff, man. I appreciate you coming on, dude. Hey, Zach and Tyler been on the show the whole damn time with me, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Since 7, man. Y'all got anything y'all want to plug or say before I end the stream here?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you letting me on. It's been a blast.
Yeah, dude. Hey, like I said, I hope this is the first time of many. Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on. Tyler, what's up, man? You want to say something before we get out of here?
No, all I gotta say is Instagram King Tyler for life. I mean, I'm playing for Alabama this year, so y'all follow me.
All right.
Sweet.
But hey, man, I appreciate y'all coming in chat room, to everybody that hung out with us and listened in. I appreciate y'all too. Like I said, I'm gonna try and do this every Friday. So, hey man, peace and love. I appreciate y'all. Keep pounding.
Yeah, man.